Hey guys, how are you all? Welcome back to my channel. Today we will see what if Naruto unleashed dark energy out in his battle against Kiba. If you enjoy, then please like, share and do comments. Next match is the final match of the preliminaries. It is Naruto Uzumaki of Konohagakure no Sato vs Kiba Inuzuka of Konohagakure no Sato, was shouted over the speakers. Kiba was looking around hoping to see his prey. He has messy brown hair, sharp black eyes with vertical slit-like pupils, pronounced canine teeth, and nails that he can change into claws. He also has the distinct red fang markings of the Inuzuka clan on his cheeks. He wears a gray overcoat, bluish-gray pants and a blue headband. He carries with him his small dog named Akamaru. He said to Akamaru, "Hey boy, this is going to be an easy match. Let's finish the dobi off so we can impress Hinata-chan." He dropped down onto the stage waiting for his opponent. His opponent is Naruto Uzumaki. Naruto Uzumaki has spiky yellow and red. He is wearing different clothing than he usually wears. He is wearing a black shirt with a scythe on it. On his sleeves there are two skulls that cover it all around. He also wears an orange and red jacket with the kanji for 9 on the back. He is wearing black pants with fire licking the bottom. What is most peculiar about Naruto's attire is his sword attached to his hip. It is red and gold with a fox head. Naruto's eyes are covered by sunglasses that have a black frame and lenses. His face was much narrower than it was before. Naruto still has the 3 whiskers that he was known for. His canine teeth were elongated. It is to the point that they hang over his bottom lip. Naruto jumped down onto the field. He had an aloof posture. He looked at Kiba lazily. Kiba on the other hand was growling furiously as he saw Hinata blushing and sent off an abundant amount of pheromones at his opponent. Oh, how he hates Naruto Uzumaki. Naruto is the victim of Hinata's heart. No matter how hard he tried to wean her off of him, the moment she sees him it grows back stronger. He wanted to defeat, no humiliate, no kill Naruto so she could come into his arms. So he tried to rile Naruto up. He said, "Hey Dobi, aren't you come and try to defeat me, huh? Look at yourself, you ridiculous. I bet you can't even hit me once. You are pathetic and weak. I bet that you are as weak as your father and why your mother is disgraced from this village. Ha, she probably was the village's whore. This match is going to be as easy as she was. I would be Hokage before you ever could." Everyone was silent as no one knew what was going to happen next. Naruto then did something unexpected. He pulled out 2 things from his pocket. The first thing was a locket. He put chakra into it and black and gray smoke appeared. When the smoke dissipated, a lounge chair appeared. The other thing that appeared is a book. The book is called Icha Onihime. He sat in his chair and started to read as if he was Kakashi's son or brother. He started to giggle much to the ire of Kiba and a few of the righteous women. Naruto shrugged as he really did not care about Kiba beating him as of now. He has nothing to prove to Kiba or these so-called human civilians. After all, he is going to be Hokage. Right now he is more worried about his precious people. Unfortunately for Kiba, Naruto does not consider him a precious person. So in a few minutes, he will realize his big mistake. Something caught Naruto's eye. It was something on Kiba's hand or claw. He saw a clear liquid dripping on the floor. It started to burn the floor around it. Naruto's eyes went wide in surprise at the clever plan created by Kiba. Kiba is using the fact that it is 90-something degrees out and was sweating to cover the liquid from sight, making it look just like sweat. Naruto looked at the irate Kiba and closed his book. He closed his eyes for a moment knowing that Kiba could not attack him as the proctor did not start the match. He opened them up, looked at Kiba with disdain. He said, "Kiba, I guess you are really trying to kill me, huh? You know what you have there is illegal in all the elemental countries." Kiba started to sweat a bit. He saw people were looking at him with a very curiousness expression. It is a big thing if something is illegal in one elemental country, but for all that is deeply disturbing. The question is, what is it exactly that could make it illegal in all of the elemental countries? Naruto said, "What Kibble has over there is an extremely powerful toxin. The toxin is called polychlorinated dibenzodioxins, also known as dioxins. Dioxins is reputed to be the most dangerous man-made poison. It is 60,000 times more toxic than cyanide. A dose of only 50 micrograms is lethal for a human. If you do not know how much that is, it is a 1,000th of a small pill. For this poison to be activated, it must be in the bloodstream. So with one small little tiny cut it will be in the bloodstream. This type from what I can tell is mixed with other toxins and poisons making this an instant death. Am I in the ballpark, Kiba? Everyone in the audience was in shock. The person that was the most shocked is Kiba's mother Sume. Sume has an animalistic look similar to that of her disappointment of a son, Kiba. She has long spiky brown hair, vertical slit-like pupils, elongated canine teeth and nails. She also has the clan fang markings on her cheeks as well as markings over her eyes and a dark shade of lipstick. She taught her son about loyalty to your comrades. Although a person can kill at the preliminaries, it is extremely frowned upon. It is especially frowned upon if it is a member from your own country. She is truly disgusted by her son. There is absolutely no reason for this. If Naruto dies because of this, her son will definitely pay a price he cannot pay. Oh, Kiba is so dead after this. The bars holding the stands up where Sume is was cracking each passing second. Kurenai. Kurenai is shell-shocked. Kurenai is a kunoichi with long dark hair, and very unique eyes that are red in color, with an additional ring in them. She wears makeup consisting of red lipstick and purple eyeliner. Her regular outfit consists of mesh armor, as well as a red blouse with only the right sleeve visible. Over this is what resembles bandages with a pattern on it similar to those of rose thorns. Her hands are also wrapped in bandages and she wears the Konoha forehead protector and regular shinobi sandals. On the top of her head were pointy fox ears. She has a fox tattoo on her left shoulder. Kurenai growled, which sounded more like yipping. She mumbled something under her breath that sounded like, "How dare Kiba attack Naruto-sama? Better yet, why is he trying to kill Naruto-sama? I noticed he has been trying to get Naruto's mate, Hinata." Kurenai's eyes went wide at the sudden realization. Her mouth was agape. Kiba is doing this because he wants Hinata. Back at the battle, Naruto casually said, "That's an A-rank poison, you got there. Well, Kiba, you ultimately lose. You see, when a person is caught using the substance, that person gets arrested. Now a D-rank poison that can kill a person at a slow rate gets about a year in jail in solitary confinement. For your poison there you get life in solitary confinement. You will be stripped of clan status, shinobi license, possessions. Your name will be erased from the world. Your family will be forced to automatically disown you. No one can visit you, and if it was a shinobi from another village this would happen at their village. So if it was I don't know Iwa, you would be raped not by women but brute men and a rough trick named Jim. Luckily for you, I guess you are doing this against the peaceful land of Konohagakure no Sato. So you will get the standard. Fortunately or unfortunately for you depends on the turnout. According to the articles of the 5 elemental countries tea convention, the fights in the chunin exams, no matter if it is the preliminaries or the finals, the fight must go on. It is only in certain cases that this could be null and void. This one is not one of them. So let's rock. Kiba was very scared. Even if he wins, he ultimately loses. He could never get Hinata. His family will disown him. The thought of solitary confinement made him shudder in fear. He thought about the rumor of the man who was in solitary confinement for 3 days. It was said he committed suicide right after. He shuddered as he did not want this. He didn't know that this is illegal. His heart is beating fast as he saw everyone's glare. The ones that hurt him the most were Kurenai Yuhi, his sensei, Sume, his mother, Hana, his sister, and most importantly to him Hinata, his teammate. Kiba looked at Naruto with extreme anger. He is the reason for all of his problems in this situation. He hated everything about Naruto. He is going to kill Naruto Uzumaki if it is the last thing he does. Kiba said, "Naruto Teme, I might be going to jail but you won't be alive to see it." Quote, Naruto eyes quirked at the comment. Naruto said, "Oh, why is that, Kiba-chan? Is it because you blame me for all your problems? Or is it that you want to be the alpha but you know that you are not the alpha of anything? Or is it the fact that everything you hear about Team 7 having a C-rank mission that became an A rank is true and you just started the upper D-rank missions?" Quote, Naruto circled around Kiba. He was eyeing Kiba, making him a little bit disturbed. "So Kiba, you supposedly want to kill a person because you can't get what you want, or for this case who you want. You know, I see such similarities between you and the Uchiha. You are as arrogant as he is. You believe that you are entitled to anything you want. The thought of power and being the strongest and killing those who are so-called in the way intrigues you. You must admit it to yourself, you and Sasuke only have a very thin line apart. The difference is he lost his family. But now here we are, and after the fight you will be the same but much worse off. Hey, how I see it, you wasted your life for nothing. Look at what you did to your mother and sister. They prided themselves and their kin about being the most loyal clan in Konoha. Now you want to go and show your ass to all these people, showing your true colors. You are a traitor. You know the saying, a traitor in any shape or form is a traitor. You are no better than Orochimaru. The difference is he can back up his strength as he is an S-ranked ninja. You are not even in the bingo book. Everyone's eyes went wide. To compare a person to that of Orochimaru is a big thing. Kiba went red in anger. He knew there is any point to hold back. Without any indication of the start of the match, Kiba started to spin. He screamed out, "Suga, piercing fang." Naruto saw him coming at amazing speeds for a genin. Unfortunately for Kiba, Naruto could see him. Naruto's chakra became black. His eyes changed to a dark 5-point star. He pulled out his sword. He put some of his dark chakra onto the sword. The sword changed. It changed into a black scythe. The scythe had many different runes on the staff. On the end, instead of the fox head, it became a skull with dark black eyes that blinks and moves. Naruto watched as Kiba got closer. When Kiba got within the distance of 3 inches, Naruto seemed to have slowed time. He looked into the brown eyes of Kiba in Izuka. Naruto put his 2 fingers in a jukin, gentle fist, way. He put some of the black energy onto the tips of his fingers. When Kiba's poisoned claws were about to hit Naruto, Naruto's tapped Kiba's claws. His hand then struck Kiba's head with brute force. This sent Kiba into a wall. Kiba hit the wall and slumped onto the floor. He tried to get up, but he realized he couldn't. Naruto looked at Kiba with an amused look. He said, "Kiba-chan, is that all you got? Because if it is, I want you to quit being a shinobi." Kiba snarled as his adrenaline kicked into high gear. He got on all fours and jumped to attack Naruto. Naruto from the outside looked very calm. On the inside, Naruto was questioning what is up with his newfound strength. The more he thought about it, how come he is so skilled yet so apathetic? He knew that Kiba would be dead after his insults to his parents, but it is like he did not care. In addition, how did he know about the poison and its rank and etc.? It did not make sense. Before he could ask and try to answer his questions, he saw the person of his disdain right now trying to kill him with those fucking poison-filled claws. Naruto's hand became covered with the black energy. He grabbed Kiba's poisoned hand. Kiba's hand snapped in a very sickly fashion. Kiba cried out but was quickly shut up when Naruto punched him in the stomach, lifting up the air. Naruto jumped up, spinning his scythe at a speed that a cage-level shinobi could see. Naruto lifted up his scythe and struck Kiba in the head with an abundant amount of force on the non-bladed side. Kiba fell at a very fast rate. When he hit the hard ground, his body went through the ground about a foot or so. Naruto landed on the ground softly, almost ghost-like. He calmly walked over to Kiba. When Naruto walked over to Kiba, he put chakra into his scythe. As if it could understand Naruto, the scythe separated into 2 smaller scythes that hooked onto Naruto's forearms. Naruto picked up his opponent by the scruff of his neck and threw him. Kiba was sent flying a meter away with an oof coming out of his mouth. Naruto glided his way towards Kiba. Naruto lifted Kiba's upper body up, leaving Kiba on his knees. Naruto gripped both of Kiba's wrists and pulled them back. Naruto's scythes circled around and latched onto Kiba's shoulders and rotator disc. Naruto put his foot on the middle part of Kiba's back. He made sure his leg was bended. He said to the now conscious Kiba, "Kiba-chan, you seemed very attached to these arms. You know the saying, never get too attached to something, because you might just lose it." The saying came from women when they believed a man was thinking with their other head. Well, you thought with your hands for too long. You thought it was right to touch the women in private. Well, arrow kibbles, let's see how much of a pervert and poison user you are when you don't have these. With that, Naruto did the unthinkable. He pushed his leg deeper into Kiba's back, while he pulled Kiba's arms. The black energy-infused scythes went right through the bone. With the exerted force, blood went everywhere. People closed their eyes to shield themselves from the event. When they opened their eyes, they saw the result. The event made many of the people vomit. Some were holding their mouths and eyes once again. The scene is Kiba on the floor bleeding. The problem is he joined some of the few people who have not arms. Kiba right now is only a torso and legs. Naruto said to Kiba for the final time today, "Datebio, bitch." Naruto left the arena with the look of apathy. He knew what he did is extremely fucked up, but he for the life of him can't figure out why he doesn't really give a fuck. It is just another one of the mysteries of the world. Back at the arena, everyone left on a very disturbed note. Seeing a man, no teenager gets his arms taken off as if it was a hot knife, or sickle, on butter. The medics try to put Kiba's arms back together, but they need to get to the hospital as soon as possible. Luckily for Kiba, Naruto cut it clean through and are able to come back on. Naruto did not cut any major arteries and such, but still the thought that the once called Dobi is able to do that and be apathetic about it terrified many. The third Hokage called a council meeting that is deeply important. It is time to learn about Naruto's heritage. At the council meeting, the Hokage entered into the room. Sarutobi has a small goatee and short spiked hair, both being dark gray, almost silver. He also has lines running vertically under each eye. He has some liver spots on his head and hands. Right now he is wearing his Hokage robes. Sarutobi sat in his seat in the center. In the back of the Hokage was Danzo. Danzo appears as an old frail man, who would normally walk with a cane. He has long black shaggy hair, and his right eye is kept bandaged. Danzo has had an X-shaped scar on his chin. He wears a white shirt, with a brown robe over top of it covering from his feet, to just over his right shoulder. On the left side of Hiruzen Sarutobi was the Shinobi Council. The Shinobi Council consisted of the Yamanaka, Nara, Akamichi, Hyuga, Inuzuka, Aburame, Higurashi, Sarutobi, Yuhi, Mitarashi, Morino, and Azuki. There were 3 other seats. They were Uzumaki, Namikaze, and Uchiha. They were the most powerful clans in Konoha. They were the ones who dealt with ninja business, such as the matter at hand with Kiba Inuzuka. They are led by Kaharu Utatane. They are represented though by Shikaku Naru. Then on the right side there was the most despised council who believes they have the most power in the world. It is the Civilian Council. They believe that they could boss the ninjas around because of the law that ninjas can't do anything with them. The council got its power through blackmail. The blackmail started with the Kyuubi attack and Uchiha massacre. They are led by Homura Mitokado. They are represented by Sakuya Haruno. The council went into an uproar over Naruto's disturbing match. The Hokage put his hand up. He said, "Look everyone, you know and I know I hate the demon brat as much as I do. If he was never born, my wife Bawako would still be here. The problem is we cannot punish him for what happened at the preliminaries. He is correct on the fact that Kiba will have to face those punishments. Sadly, we have to keep up appearances by doing more to him. There is more to Naruto. The black energy we saw is real. It is not chakra but pure deathly energy. What I am about to tell you is an SSS rank secret. Naruto Uzumaki is the son of Minato Namikaze." Everyone's eyes went wide at this. This created even more of an uproar. What no one was able to see is Naruto up on top of the ceiling. No one was able to see as he had his black energy coat over his chakra. He listened to what his former adopted grandfather had to say. Surprisingly, it only hurt a little. He believed there is something else that he had to say. He believes it is something big. The next info is definitely big indeed. Hiruzen put his hand back up to silence them. He then said, "That is not the big news I want to tell you. You see, the black energy is more than chakra. It is even stronger than chakra. It is death's energy. You see, Minato is not who he said he was. He is not human. Minato Namikaze is the big honcho, the Shinigami himself. I know this as I have seen his true form. His power is overwhelming. So his son the Jinchuriki is part of the death god." Everyone's eyes went wide at this, even Naruto. Before they could say anything, Naruto flipped down onto the floor, exposing himself. He said, "Hokage-sama and beloved council, I see we found out about our former Hokage being the death god and all. I wasn't expecting to be his son though. Oh well, what are you going to do, right? I mean, you can't kill me, and your current Hokage just pretty much fucked up the connection between me and the village, but hey, I'm just the demon brat, right? So well, I have to say fuck you all, because if I am correct, my scythe here can send you all to, well, daddy. Sarutobi, your secrets will come out, all of them." With that, Naruto walked out the door with the Anbu on his tail. Unfortunately for the Anbu, Naruto was covered with his dark energy and disappeared. Naruto was outside when someone stopped him. He was pulled into an alleyway. He was then kissed by a mysterious someone. He went wide-eyed at the sudden kiss. When the person pulled away, Naruto let out a breath he did not know he was holding. He looked at the person and was shocked. The woman's tail was waging back and forth. The woman said, "Hello Naruto-sama. There is something that you must know that not even the Hokage knows." Naruto shook his head to make sure he was not seeing things. The girl is none other than Kurenai. Naruto blinked. The only logical thing he could is say, "Huh. Naruto-sama, sorry, but when I saw that bloodlust that came during the battle between you and Kiba, you released a whole lot of pheromones. Well, as you can see, I have a white foxtail. The reason is simple, I am a fox demon and your protector. Now before you do anything rash, let me take you to somewhere safe from prying eyes and ears." Kurenai told Naruto. Naruto just nodded dumbly, still thinking about that kiss. This is his first real kiss. He will deny the kiss between him and Sasuke. It was an accident that happened because of Kiba. Oh, now Naruto has another thing he will hold against Kiba. While he was in his musings, his pheromones were raising. Kurenai barely had enough will to just strip him and fuck him right here and now. She quickly grabbed him and took him to the Kikyo Castle. Kikyo Castle is an old Japanese-style castle. Most people think it is for show. In reality, it is the safe house and portal for demons. When Naruto broke out of his musings, he notices it. He stares at it and starts to have a flashback. Before he could envelope it, Kurenai pushes him in. When he goes in, he notices some people. The first person he saw is Anko Mitarashi. Anko is a kunoichi with light brown, pupil-less eyes. Her violet hair is done up in a short, somewhat spiky ponytail. She is wearing a tan overcoat, complete with a fitted mesh bodysuit that stretches from her neck down to her thighs. She wears a dark orange skirt, as well as a forehead protector, a small pendant, and shin guards. The pendant is on a thick cord rather than a chain to prevent it from being easily torn off in combat. The thick cord is made up of snake scales. On her back there is a tattoo of a coiled-up snake. Her canine teeth on top and seem to retract and tract at any time. The next person is the girl he liked more than Sakura, Hinata Hyuga. Hinata has dark blue hair. She has fair skin and lavender-gray tinted white eyes. Her hair is in a Heim-cut style, with chin-length strands framing her face. She wears a cream-colored hooded jacket with a fire symbol on the upper right and left sleeves, and navy blue pants. She wears her Konoha forehead protector around her neck. On the top of her left breast is a picture of a cat. She has cat ears that are flattened in her ears. The next person was an even bigger surprise. It is Hana Inuzuka. She has the traditional fang-like tattoos of the Inuzuka clan on both of her cheeks, in addition to a tattoo on her upper right arm that resembles a flower. She also has a tattoo of a dog on the lower part of her back. Hana usually wears the yellow Konoha medic uniform, and during battle wears a lighter variation of the Konoha flag jacket without the front pockets. She also keeps the front of her jacket unzipped down to her chest, and a pair of form-fitting shorts cut just above the knee. Hana is also noted to have a softer appearance than the other members of her family, not having extended canines or slit-like eyes, and her hair isn't wild, but tied into a ponytail with one hair bang on each side of her face. Behind her he saw a small little dog. He recognized it as Akamaru. Akamaru is a small puppy with white fur that somewhat hangs down from his body. Akamaru has closed eyes and a dark brown nose. He also has dark brown patches on his ears and has a dark brown outline around his mouth. Naruto looked at them with bewilderment. Why were these people gathering here? He said to Kurenai, "Kurenai-sensei, why is Hinata, Anko, Hana, and Akamaru here?" Surprising to Naruto, Akamaru is the one who spoke. Akamaru said, "Ah, Naruto-sama, how are you today? Well, from what I could see, you are apathetic about my partner. I don't blame you. He is my partner by force. I could get a new partner if someone accepts me as one. I got the bottom of the crop." Akamaru put in those sweet puppy eyes. Hana slapped him in the back of the head. "Akamaru, there is something that Naruto-sama must know. So hush up about being Kiba's partner," Hana said. Naruto's right eye started to twitch. He said in an even tone, Can someone explain to me why you guys are calling me Sama? I mean, it just doesn't make any sense." Kurenai said, "Naruto-sama. Before I answer your question, I want you to look at the moon." Naruto looked at the night sky to see the moon glowing as if it is happy. Naruto said to Kurenai, "Okay, I see it. Now what does the moon have to do with me?" Kurenai became even more cryptic as she asked him, "Naruto-sama, do you remember when you were younger and the moon seemed to dim itself before you could get away? Do you remember seeing the moon somewhat guide you to an escape route to get away from the stupid villagers?" Naruto nodded as he remembered this. He never understood why this happened, but he would escape from the villagers. He took a deep breath. He did not know where this is going. For that matter, how did she know that? Naruto's eyes narrowed at Kurenai. He asked her, "What does this have to do with anything?" "Well, Naruto-sama, the moon is not what people think it is. It is somewhat the castle of the 10-tailed demon. She is the queen of demons. She is your mother, Naruto-sama." Naruto blinked once, then twice, then a third time. He pulled a Hinata and passed on the floor. Anko hissed out, "Well, he took it well." The girls and Akamaru nodded as they waited for their prince to wake up. About an hour or so later, the demonic prince woke up. He felt a weight on his body. Being a teenager and all her had a morning wood. As he struggled to get up, he felt his wood go in between two soft but firm cheeks. He heard an illicit moan and purring coming from the weight on his chest. He noticed that cat-like version of Hinata looking down at him with wide eyes. She turned a deep red. She eeped and passed out on Naruto's chest. Naruto gently lifted her up. He carried her bridal style and put her on a nearby chair. Naruto still had a heart-on. He turned around to see Anko, Kurenai, and Hana looking at him with lustful eyes. Naruto blinked at them as he did not know why they were looking him like that. He thought about the pain in his pants. The wheels were starting to turn in his head. He looked down to see his morning wood saying hello to everyone. The girls nodded as they knew that had an important part to do. Kurenai said, "Naruto-sama, nice girth you got there. Now Naruto-sama, as I look into your eyes I see something. I bet you are asking yourself, why is it that I am apathetic about a lot of things such as dismembering Kiba? The reason is simple. You are the mix between a demon and the death god. Now you have both extremes. You have the emotional demons who usually act on emotions, especially bloodlust. The Shinigami on the other hand is apathetic about everything. As soon as you unlock the notepad you will realize why. Because of the brainwashing of the fucking civilians and council, you believe it is wrong to be a demon. As a result, subconsciously when you unlocked it at the Land of Waves against that Haku girl, you start to repress your demon side. This opened up your death god side. So when you finally unlock the initial stage of your Shinigami side. Naruto-sama, we are sending you to the portal for the demon training. By the way, before I forget, you are not invincible. Being a demon does make it so that it is extremely hard to kill. Yet this is the first time ever has there been an heir to the Shinigami, so don't get cocky as you don't know the limit of your abilities. Naruto nodded and went to the portal. Naruto will not be seen until the chunin exam finals. A month later. The first match is to begin of the chunin exams is Neji Hyuga of Konohagakure no Sato vs Naruto Uzumaki of Konohagakure no Sato. Was what the speakers said. People were mumbling about the demon brat versus the Hyuga prodigy. The proctor was Genma because of the mysterious death of Hayate Gecko. Genma asked for the two opponents to come down. Neji is the first to come down. Neji has long brown hair. He has very fair skin and possesses the Byakugan. He wears a black headband that he wore snugly over his forehead. He also wears a khaki shirt and dark brown shorts. He also has bandages wrapped around his right arm, chest, and right leg. He has a green tattoo on his arm that looks like a cage bird. Neji has a smug face. He obviously with his Byakugan could not see Naruto. He is somewhat happy as he remembered the threat Naruto told him. He laughed at the fact Naruto is not here. He said, "Proctor, call the match." He is not. Then it happened. A fire vortex appeared in the middle of the arena. A man came out of the vortex. His face had a mask on while the cloak covered his head. The man stood as if he was a natural-born leader. The man wore the mask of coldness and his killer intent was off the charts. He was 5'7" with a black and red cloak covering him. The cloak is black with an orange fire on the bottom that seemed glow. On the back it has a fox curled up with 9 tails that are going in a spiral. It has a kanji for Demon Prince. The hood of the cape has a fox in a swirl with a kanji that stood for Uzumaki. His right sleeve had 9 orange triangles that have highly complicated seals that seem to spin. On the side of the cloak it has the word demon. The word demon glowed orange as if it was a secret compartment, hint. The left side had a weapon launcher. The launcher had over 10,000 senbons, 5,000 kunai and 3,000 shurikens. The arm had the word kitsune. The thing that ultimately caught them off guard is the fact that cloak seemed alive. It started to growl and grow some more. Genma gained the courage to speak. Excuse me sir, we have a match going on. So may you please go into the stands. The person shook his head in the response of no. He lifts up his hood. The person was none other than Naruto Uzumaki. In the stands. The people in the stands were scared at the power of this boy. The person that is especially scared is Sakura Haruno. Sakura has bright pink hair, green eyes, and fair skin. Sakura wears a red dress with white circular designs, tight dark green shorts. She is afraid as she sees her teammate holding this much power. She has seen Naruto transform from a child dobi, to an apathetic ninja killer to a bloodlust-looking monster. She saw him face Orochimaru and actually was going toe-to-toe with him, albeit he was testing their skills. It is remarkable still. She looked at herself and put her head down in shame. Compared to Naruto and Sasuke, she is the dobi. Back at the arena, Neji's pupil-less eyes went wide in surprise. This guy changes outfits and personalities more than women with shoes. From the feel of his power, Neji knew he could not defeat him with raw power. As a result, he is going to try and beat him with psychology. He put on a smug face to try to get Naruto off guard. He said, "Naruto-san, you are fated to lose this match. I am going to show you why you and Hinata-sama deserve to be at the bottom of the floor." Naruto shrugged and said, "Hey Neji, you know while I was gone for the month I met Fate. We hooked up and I promised her I will marry her. Then I fucked her brains out. After the great fucking I left her there and laughed at her. I laughed because she actually thought I was fated to marry her. So you see Neji, me and Fate don't see eye to eye. So why don't you do what I did and fuck Fate?" Everyone's eyes went wide as Naruto just did a Naruto. No matter if it is his actions or his words, he will surprise you. Neji's eyes however became narrow. He hated Naruto's words. He thought to himself, how dare he disrespect Fate? How dare he? He got into Jukin style, gentle fist. Neji scoffed at Naruto and said, "Well, in the name of Fate I will defeat you, Dobi." Naruto looked bored. He said, "You know Neji, I don't like trying to be touched by men, but if I am in a fight I don't want to be gently touched by any man. It is just wrong. So why don't we just fight like a real fight instead of you trying to touch me? For that matter, isn't it wrong to use Jukin? It is like the date rape closed a person's chakra point, then take somebody out back, you voyeur freak." Naruto got into the ancient fox style. The style had Naruto on all fours. The thing is, his chakra covered him. His chakra became that of spikes around his body. Out of nowhere 3 Narutos appeared circling around Neji. His clones were feral looking. Like the original Naruto, their chakra covered them and made chakra senbons. Their eyes became that of slits. On all fours they circled around Neji as if he is their prey. Neji knew from the chakra being visible he could not activate his Byakugan because of the fact if he activated his Byakugan he would become blind. He for the first time in a long time was afraid. He has looked around and had to go into the defensive state. "Hajime," was what was heard by Genma. It caught Neji off guard for a moment. But that 1 second that cost Neji so much. The Naruto on the side struck him. The Naruto hit Neji's side. The claw hit him, causing Neji to feel pain on his side. What was more amazing is the fact that there was more pain from the chakra senbons. He noticed that the chakra senbons stayed inside his side. Neji's pain side was getting worse. He realized something that made his eyes go wide. Naruto had a feral grin on his face. He said, "Like my present? You see, the chakra senbon not only hurts you physically, but it does something much worse. It forcefully puts my chakra into your chakra system. It disrupts your chakra, and if I have enough of chakra senbons in you I will have control over your chakra. I will soon be able to destroy it. I bet I could make you like a play toy. Would you like that, Neji?" Neji snarled at this. Naruto has become a senbon to his side. He is holding his side, forcing his chakra to get into control of it. When he believed he had control, he went into a defensive position. He saw another Naruto coming towards him. Neji said, "Hakesho Kaden, 8 trigrams palms heavenly spin." Neji stated to spin. A chakra dome circled around Neji. It deflected the 4 Narutos. The 4 Narutos were still coming back. It is as if the Narutos gained momentum from the attack. He could not keep up and started to get beat up. The first Naruto struck Neji on his back leaving 18 senbons. The second Naruto struck his legs leaving 30 senbons on each leg. The third Naruto struck him in his arms leaving 40 senbons on each arm. The original kicked him in the chest. Neji went right into the wall. After the assault, Neji was blooded up. His clothes were tattered and ripped apart. His hair became extremely short. He made Naruto smile, a bloodthirsty one at that. Naruto did a few hand signs. He whispered, "Yokoi Rakurai, lightning bolt bar." A lightning bolt hit Neji head on. The lightning bolt made Neji scream to the heavens. The lightning bolt did not disappear. In fact, it actually held Neji up in the air. The electricity made Neji's arms come up. He is currently being held up by the lightning rod. Naruto laughed at him. Naruto did a few hand signs. Naruto whispered, "Raiko Gentu, lightning saber." Naruto put his right middle and pointer finger together. He started to put lightning chakra into them. He put it on his left wrist. He then slid his hand up his left palm. Out of the wrist came a cackling sound. A blue and white lightning came out of his wrist. The lightning became a sword. It started glow and cackle. Naruto has an eerie smile on his face. He said, "Neji-chan, I want to show you my pretty cool attack. This is the final attack you will see or want to anyway. Now let me show you why my senbons are so effective." He put his left pointer and middle together. He concentrated his chakra by closing his eyes. He opened his eyes and then it happened. Naruto's chakra that was in Neji was taking over Neji's body. Neji's will was losing to Naruto's. His body started to show blue circles everywhere. Some were bigger than others. The biggest is the one at his stomach. Naruto said, "See Neji-chan, you don't need the infamous Byakugan to see a person's chakra points. Now Neji-chan, we are going to have lots of fun. Are you ready?" "Well, since you can't answer, I'll answer it for you. I'm ready." Naruto said, "Raiden. Hake. Rokuvuyan Denku Senshi. Lighting style. 8 trigrams 64 lightning stabs. 2 stabs and twisted it in his right arm, 4 stabs, 2 stabs and twisted it in his left arm, 2 stabs and twisted it in his left shoulder, 8 stabs, 2 stabs and twisted it in his right shoulder, 3 stabs and twisted it in his right thigh, and 3 stabs and twisted it in his leg, 16 stabs, 3 stabs and twisted it in his left thigh, 3 stabs on his legs, 1 slash on both of his knees, 2 stabs on his left biceps, 2 stabs and twisted it in left triceps, and 2 stabs and twisted it in his left kidney, 32 stabs, 2 stabs and twisted it in the right biceps, 2 stabs and twisted it in the triceps, 4 more stabs and twists in the left biceps, 4 stabs and twisted it in the biceps, 2 stabs on his right kidney, 6 stabs at the ribs on the right, 6 stabs at the ribs on the left side, 4 stabs on the right pec, and 4 stabs on the left pec, 64 stabs, 4 stabs on the clavicle, 5 stabs on his right wrist, 5 stabs on his left wrist, 10 stabs on his left foot, 10 stabs on the right foot, 3 stabs on his right thumb, 2 stabs on his right pointer finger, 3 stabs on his right middle finger, 2 stabs on his right, 2 stabs on his right pinky finger, 3 stabs on his left thumb, 2 stabs on his left pointer, 3 stabs on his left middle finger, 2 stabs on his left ring finger, 2 stabs on his left pinky finger, 2 stabs at the sternum, 1 stab at the liver, 1 stab at the pancreas, 1 stab at the head and 1 stab at the stomach. The death-defying screams of Neji Hyuga was hears all around. Coincidentally, all the chakra points were aligned with nerves, especially the pain receptors. So instead of the pain receptors being numbed, his receptors became hypersensitive. So the pain was 10 times worse. Naruto said, "Well, since you move, I will finish this match." Naruto did a few demonic hand signs and lifted his lightning blade into the sky and said, "Kachiyose, Zeus lightning strike of death." People eyes wet wide as they saw the skies opened up with the rain pouring down with thunder and lightning coming down. Then they saw an old white man come out. The old man released hundreds and thousands of lightning bolts hit Neji. Then the old man created a huge lightning ball and threw it. The ball hit the bolts around Neji. The ignited created a huge dome explosion. When the light of the explosion disappeared, there was only Naruto standing. Naruto walked over to Neji and had an eerie smile. He lifted Neji's head up to look into his eyes. Naruto put electric chakra on his fingers. He said, "Neji, since you can't close your eyes," and felt every ounce of that power. "The funny thing is that it barely 10% of my chakra. Now Neji, I want to give you a present. You take such pride in your eyes. Well, let us see if you like just one eye." Naruto jabbed the lightning-infused fingers into his right eye. Neji tried to scream but could as he lost his voice. Now his left eye has the lightning bolt as the reminder of Naruto's destruction of fate. Naruto put Neji's head down in the dirt and said, "Where fate now, Neji-chan? Guess you were fated to be struck by a lightning god." "Nah, you see, I actually willed for that to happen. You see, your left eye not having the renowned Byakugan was not fated. No, you see, I thought about it for a second and did it anyway. So no matter what you see or not see, fate is not real. It is a condition that humans use to try to give them a so-called crutch. In reality, it is hindering your ability to do anything. If we are fated to everything, then we lose what made us different than animals. It is free will. So Neji, wake up and look at your free will ability very seriously." The crowd was cheering at a good match, but some from Konoha were mortified by his power. He is able to defeat no annihilated a genius. Naruto went up the winner's circle. He saw the look of the others. They were deathly afraid. Naruto saw a certain red head. Naruto looked at Gaara with a deathly look. Gaara has pale skin and short, spiky hair that is brick red. Gaara's eyes are seafoam green. The pupils of his eyes are mostly invisible. Gaara has no eyebrows either. He has tanuki-like black eye rings. He has created the kanji, love, on the left side of his forehead. He wears black full bodysuit with t-shirt-like sleeves, and an open neck. With this, he wears a white cloth over his right shoulder and the left side of his hips, and a wide leather band system over the left shoulder and right side of his hips. With this leather band, he carried around his gourd containing his sand. He also has a tattoo that has a raccoon coming up his back. Gaara heard a voice in the back of his head. He heard the so-called voice, whimpering. His eyes became wide. It is the voice of the Ichibi no. Gaara whispered, "Mother, what's wrong?" The trembling voice said, "Gaara, do not battle the blonde-haired child. I mean, ever, do you get it? Do not start the invasion. It is cancelled." Gaara nodded but was extremely curious on who this boy is. Next match is Sasuke Uchiha of Konohagakure no Sato vs Gaara Sabaku of Sanagakure no Sato. Gaara jumped down having a lot on his mind. He saw his opponent was not here yet. Genma asked the Hokage what to do. The Hokage made a decision. He said, "Ladies and gentlemen, we will be taking a break from all the activities for right now. Please come back in 30 minutes or so. Check out the sights of Konoha. Thank you." People started to up and live. Naruto got up and started to walk out. Naruto was walking and felt a dangerous aura come out of nowhere. He flared his chakra to sense them. When he could not sense them, he went into a defensive position. He looked around ready to shoot a senbon at anyone in range. He then heard a voice. "Come with us, Naruto-kun." With that said, 4 people with cloaks dropped on the ground in a circle formation. By their posture they looked like they were women. Naruto said, "Why don't you show your faces first? I simply want to see who you are if I want to deal with you women. Plus I don't any money on me to pay for any services." The first one to take off her hood has blonde hair. She has blue eyes and her long blonde hair. It always seemed to be in a ponytail with bangs covering the right side of her face. This person is usually seen wearing purple, and more revealing, clothing, seemingly to show off her figure. She wears a short purple vest-like shirt with a raised collar, a skirt that was cut off on the sides and bandage on her stomach and legs. She also wears purple and white elbow warmers with this, and her headband on her stomach as a belt. She has a purple bow staff that can become a sword. The person called Naruto a pervert and hit him over the head with the staff. It is Ino Yamanaka. The second person took off her hood. The person has purple hair. She is tall and slim. She has porcelain-colored skin. She has amber brown eyes. She has a gray vest within black pants. She has a tattoo of a swirl on her arm. She has a sword on her back. She hit him on the head with a perverted but sarcastic comment. The woman is none other than Yugo Uzuki. The third person took off her hood. She has brown eyes and long brown hair gathered in a Chinese-style chignon. She wears a pink sleeveless blouse and dark green pants. There is a shuriken holster and the bandage on her right leg is removed and wears black fingerless gloves. She holds a giant tool summoning scroll on her back. She has porcelain skin. She hit him over the head with the scroll. It is Tenten Higurashi. The fourth and final person took off her hood. She has dark green eyes and blonde hair, which is gathered into 4 pigtails arranged around her head. She has tan skin. Her outfit consists of a single light purple-colored garment that extends from below her shoulders to halfway down her thighs, with a scarlet sash tied around her waist. In addition to incorporating fishnet worn over her shoulders and legs, she also wears her headband around her neck. She wears her fan behind her back. She smacked him with her fan for the comment. It is Tamari Sabaku. Naruto unfortunately could not say anything or do anything as he passed out on the floor. Ino huffed and crossed her arms and said, "Perverted bastard." The girls started to talk amongst themselves. About a few minutes or so Naruto woke up. He looked around to see Ino's purple shoe tapping impatiently. He groggily said, "Ino-chan, is that you?" Ino began to blush. Ino said, "Naruto baka, get up. We need to give you some presents and no, it is not our hot Y bodies." She mumbled under her breath, "For now anyway." Yugo said, "Naruto-kun, we are Grim Reapers or Meisters. We are the servants of the Shinigami or your father. Now we are your guardians from the Shinigami. You see, I am what you remember as the Anbu Captain Neko. I protected you when you were younger when I was not missions. Tenten made sure your weapons were secured. She protected you from the bullies that were from the older class. She did a pretty good job at that." Tenten blushed at the praise. Tamari was the intel and told us who and what was trying to attack. Finally, Ino has done the most for you. She made sure she was in your class. She played the ditz when in fact she is as smart as the Nara. She has that big crush on you since she was about 9 in human years. Do you remember that Christmas when you got those 2 presents? Well, the one that was the kunai set that was Ino's present to you. After all, you did find an orange blossom and gave it to her. Ino blushed at this out of embarrassment and anger. So she has a pretty big crush on you. Almost fought Hinata. Ino put a hand over Yugo's mouth. Tamari decided to finish what the purpose of this mission is. She said, "Naruto-kun, as you know, your father is the Shinigami. Well, the world needs a savior. You see, there is an evil called Kishin. Kishin are evil humans that kill and eat human souls. The more they kill and eat the souls, the more evil they become. What we do is fight and kill these Kishin. Demons and the big Shinigami are the only one able to eat people's souls. We are the only ones who can kill them. The problem is there was a falling out with the Meisters and demon weapons. No one knows for sure why, but it happened. There was a demon Meister war that killed many. Over time the demons became regular demons, they stopped becoming weapons. We had to try and kill these beasts, Kishin, by ourselves. Over time it was getting harder and harder to do. The demons started to see their kin being taken by these Kishin. So Minato, the new Shinigami, married and fell in love with Kushina, the leader of the demons. She was able to become a weapon and Minato used her to kill the old corrupted Shinigami. He had to take all the power of the Shinigami since the other Shinigami did not have any children. They fell in love, like I said, and made you. She was pregnant with you when Kyuubi or Kitsuna, the leader of the Fox clan, came to ask for your hand in marriage, but she was controlled by someone. She is able to form into a weapon. She transformed into her fox form. Gods are all powerful but had laws. Now you see, Minato was on his last day on Earth for another 12 years. As a result, he was extremely weak. He had to do something that got him punished. He had to summon his full powers using an illusion to show him face the Kyuubi in a human form. The cost for using his full powers is he cannot go back to Earth unless someone other than us, a real human, summons him. That could take eons to do, but that is his punishment. Your mission is to defeat the main evil Kishin. No god has been able to do it. They chose you because of your will. It is rumored that if they didn't bring you into the world, you would have willed yourself. Anyway, there are 3 weapons that you must be given. They are the final demon weapons. I am giving you the notepad. The notepad is black with a skull on it. Tamari said, the names on the pad are the targets that must die that day. Now ladies, please give Naruto his soul weapons. Tenten was the first to walk up to him. She gave him 2 grayish-black guns. She said, "Naruto-kun, their names are Elizabeth and Patricia Thompson. Keep them safe please." She gave him a kiss on the cheek, making his face turn a little red. Yugo came up next and gave him a double-chain scythe. The scythe was golden. The chain was a sparkling silver. Yugo whispered in his ear, "Her name is Tsubaki Nakatsukasa. Be nice to her, okay?" She kissed him on the other cheek. Ino, who finally got over her blush for now, gave him a scythe with a long gray, staff-like haft. The scythe blade is black and red, with the two colors separated by a zigzagged line going along the blade. Next to the blade is a prominent decor in the shape of an elliptical red eye with a black pupil, framed by a dark gray outline with a line extending out of the outline at the 2 points of the eye. She whispered in his ear, "His name is Soul. Go get them whiskers." She pulled back to give Naruto a huge make-out kiss. Naruto's eyes went wide as she pulled, sporting a big red blush. Temari rolled her eyes. She said, "Okay lover boy, there is something you must do. Activate these guys. You must put your blood on them. Then you must put your chakra on them. Then you must say Kachiyose. Oni Kengeki Kai, summoning demon weapons release." Naruto nodded and started with the scythe that was in his hands at the moment. He put his blood on the weapon. He then put his chakra on the blade and said the words. The energy went from the top of the blade to the end of the staff. He then heard a poof sound. Then it happened. A boy came out. He has white hair swept to one side, and red eyes. He has a pointy canine tooth. He has a lazy, droopy, and somewhat uninterested expression on his face. He wears a yellow and black jacket with buttons going down the front. Around his head is a prominent sweatband that has a sticker with his name on and a round logo featuring a red-lipped mouth bearing pointed fangs surrounded with the letters, EAT. He wears a pair of maroon pants, and yellow and black sneakers with a pattern on the soles resembling his teeth. The guy said to Naruto, "Yo, Naruto, the names is Soul Eater Evans. Before you ask how I know who you are, your chakra and blood is deeply distinguished. Glad to be one of your weapons. Now if you want to summon me, just your right forearm. Don't be a stranger to let me be in my human form. It is not cool always being in scythe form. Peace." The scythe went onto Naruto's right forearm, becoming the tattoo of the word EAT. Naruto's eye went wide. His scythe is an actually being. That is so cool. He could not wait to use him. He then saw the gleaming chained scythe. If that other scythe was able to transform into that, he wondered what this will change into. He did the same thing he did with the scythe. A poof sound was heard once again. This time a girl came out. She wears a pale yellow outfit with a skirt end that has a slit down the side with a bright yellow star on the chest. She also wears a dark brown scarf and a tied dark brown stocking on her right leg starting just above the knee, and white boots. She wears a sash that looks similar to a gray riveted strap that wraps around her waist twice and hangs down diagonally from right to left. She usually has a kind, soft expression on her face. She has black hair tied up in a ponytail and large indigo eyes. She said, "Hello Naruto-kun, I am Tsubaki Nakatsukasa. You look like such a sweet guy. I can transform into many different things. I can transform into a sword, to a demon ninja star, whatever you want. If you want to talk to me, I will be on your left forearm. I hope you don't become over conceited because I don't think I could take it. I will be in the form of a Tsubaki flower. Don't forget about me, okay?" She had such a sultry voice that even if the sentence was innocent, it sounded so why. Naruto had to hold his nose at her amazing body and why voice. Ino of course was red and huffed. Naruto was cleaning up the blood off his nose. He then saw the two guns. He nicked his two pointer fingers on the triggers. He put his chakra there on the triggers. He whispered, "Kachiyose, Oni Kengeki Kai." The smoke appeared. Then two women appeared. The first woman has light brown hair that reaches her mid-back, dark blue eyes, and tanned skin. She has a smaller breast size than her little sister, which annoys her to no end, though she is much taller. Both of the sisters wear cowgirl outfits, a tight sleeveless red turtleneck belly shirt with a white tie, cowboy hat and black high-heel boots. However, unlike the other sister, she wears long jeans and also wears two silver bracelets on each wrist. Also, there is a subtle difference in their hats. Her sister's hat has rounded rims, whilst her hat has rims that slant forward. In the anime, as the series progress, both Thompson sisters wear white jackets over their outfits. The second woman has chin length, bright yellow, blonde, hair with bangs, light blue eyes and a larger breast size than her sister even though her sister is much older and taller than her. Both of the Thompson sisters wear cowgirl outfits, a tight, red, sleeveless, turtleneck belly shirt with a white tie, cowboy hat and black, high-heel boots. However, unlike the other sister, she wears puffy shorts. There is also a subtle difference in her hat. Her sister hat has rims that slant forwards, whereas her hat has rims that are in a perfect curve. Naruto's nose began to bleed when he saw that she has a blue lacy thong riding her up. The two sisters said, "Hello Naruto-kun. I am Liz Thompson, the older sister. This is Patty. We are the Thompson sisters. We are able to turn into guns. Also, so you know, we are quite cheerful and a little lustful, so watch out or I will shoot you." A smile. "We will be on your wrists. If you are looking for a good time, just call us. Hee hee hee." Before Naruto said anything, a red light sounded. The loudspeakers said, "The village is under attack. Ninjas evacuate the civilians and come back to battle." The 5 ninjas there said, "Let's go. We have an invasion going on." They disappeared to attack the front lines. Naruto on the other hand felt a dark surge. His body was start to disappear. Meanwhile, the third Hokage was currently facing off against Orochimaru. Orochimaru is an extremely pale-skinned human with waist-length black hair. He had amber eyes with slits in his pupils and purple markings around his eyes. He is wearing a plain gray garb with black pants and a thick purple rope belt tied in a large knot behind his back and blue Tomos-shaped earrings. Orochimaru said, "Sarutobi, I think it is time to show you my new technique. Edo Tensai, Impure World Resurrection." He did the hand signs tiger right pointing arrow, snake right pointing arrow, dog right pointing arrow, dragon while he said it. When he said that and clapped his hands, the earth shook. Then 3 wooden boxes came out of nowhere. The boxes had the kanji for 1, 2 and 4 respectively. Out of the box with the kanji for 1 is the Hashirama Senju, the Shodai Hokage. Hashirama is shown with dark tan skin, brown eyes, and long, black hair. He is dark red, metal plating armor of that era similar to what samurai wear, ninja sandals, as well as some type of headband on his forehead. The second box opened. Out came Tobirama Senju, the Naidame Hokage. Tobirama is known for his blue armor, white shaggy hair, red eyes and his red streaks under his eyes and on his chin. His forehead protector resembles a face guard. Underneath his armor, his outfit had a white fur collar and simple shinobi sandals. The third and final box opened. It is Minato Namikaze, the Yondaime Hokage. Minato has blonde hair, blue eyes with his bangs going down to his jaw. Minato's normal attire is a standard Konoha nin uniform and a flak jacket with 2 bands each on both of his sleeves. He also is wearing a short sleeve long white coat with red flame edges and the kanji, 4th Hokage, written vertically down on the back. Sarutobi thought to himself, "Shit, he summoned the Shinigami. Maybe if I summon him over my side I will have a better chance to beat Orochimaru." Hiruzen Sarutobi did the hand signs snake right pointing arrow, boar right pointing arrow, ram right pointing arrow, rabbit right pointing arrow, dog right pointing arrow, rat right pointing arrow, bird right pointing arrow, horse right pointing arrow, snake. He then clapped his hands and said, "Shiki Fujin, dead demon consuming seal." When he did that, a black ball of energy appeared. The energy was beating like a human heart. As the milliseconds went by, a body appeared. It looked like Minato Namikaze, the death god, was going to return. It is until Sarutobi looked into the eyes of the being. His eyes went wide in horror. It was not Minato Namikaze but Naruto Uzumaki. Naruto looked around to see what is going. All he remembered is he faded into darkness. He also noticed he is wearing his outfit that he used against Kiba. He looked at what was going on. He saw Orochimaru, the Shodai Hokage, the Naidame Hokage, Sandame Hokage, and the Yondaime Hokage. For that matter, how did he get here? His question was answered by the Sandame. Damn it, the technique was used to summon the Yondaime to this side, not his worthless son. Naruto and Minato's eyes twitched at the comment. Orochimaru had a confused expression on his face. He asked, "What do you mean, Sarutobi? That technique is to summon the Shinigami. How could you have summoned Naruto-kun? Unless..." The light bulb clicked in Orochimaru's head. He grinned, an eerie smile on his face. He He said, well, it seems that Sarutobi has been keeping a secret from me and all of Konoha. Naruto-kun is a Shinigami. I guess that after I will kill you I will make Naruto-kun my new body. Imagine the possibilities of having the body of the Shinigami. Yes, forget about the Uchiha, Naruto-kun is definitely my new body. Maybe I could. Orochimaru could not finish his sentence. The reason is the fact that Minato punched him in the face. Minato said, "You will not touch my son. If you so much as touch him I will kill you." Orochimaru's eyes went wide in surprise. He then said, "Well, isn't that a shocker? Minato surprises me even beyond the grave. He is the fucking Shinigami. Now I find out he has a son that has the ability to become even stronger than you with the Kyuubi inside him. Yes, he will be a good body." Minato and Naruto started to get angry really quickly. Minato went down on one knee. Naruto said, "To-san, what's wrong?" Minato grunted in pain as he held his stomach. He said, "Yay son, I'll be fine. I just need to adjust being back on Earth. Being summoned not as the god of death but as my human form. It takes a day or so to adjust. You are the one who has to defeat Orochimaru." Quote. Naruto pointed towards the Sandaime, "How about him?" Minato had a look of hate towards Hiruzen. "I will deal with him later," Orochimaru said. "How about you stop talking and I take my new body?" Orochimaru put the seals on the back of the other two Hokage's head. The two brothers had an electrical bolt go through them. They growled and got into an offensive attack position. Minato yelled at Naruto, "Naruto, summon your weapons. That is the only way can kill them." Naruto nodded and created two Hitokage Bushins, soul clones. He was able to put his demonic chakra in them to keep them alive longer. He hid his tattoos on his wrists and forearms. They came out of their tattoo forms and were given to the Kage Bushin. The original Naruto kept soul. He said, "Tsubaki, you and the Kage Bushin will face the Shodai. Liz and Patty, you face the Nidaime. I will face Orochimaru myself. Let's go." Tsubaki and Naruto got into an offensive position. He said, "Tsubaki, I don't know what your skills are, so I guess we have to wing it." Tsubaki nodded. She said, "Okay. Naruto-kun, can you tell me what you know about our opponent?" "I know he is the Shodai Hokage and he has the ability to control demons and that he has the ability called Mokuton or wood release. He can control the trees and other plants." She nodded and said, "Okay Naruto, let's go." The Shodai Hokage rushed in and struck. He came directly at Tsubaki and swung. She ducked only to get a roundhouse kick to the face. Naruto saw this and went towards her only to get hit with a frontal kick. He was sent flying right into Tsubaki. His face landed right in the valley of her breast. She had to hold down a blush as she got up. She got up and threw 3 shuriken at the former leader of the village. Naruto saw this and did a hand sign. He said, "Shuriken Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, Shuriken Shadow Clone Jutsu." The 3 shuriken became 30 shuriken as they came towards the Shodai Hokage. Thinking quickly, Hashirama Senju did 5 hand signs, tiger and snake. He said, "Very surprising move coming from one that is so young. Well, let me show you how Konoha was created. Mokuton Hijutsu. Jukai Koden, wood release secret technique. Birth of dense woodland." All of a sudden the extremely fast shuriken stopped dead. The trees that grew out of nowhere stopped them as if they weren't moving at all. Hashirama had a smirk on his usual stoic face. Naruto cursed. He said, "Hokage-sama, I see why you are considered one of the strongest ninjas to ever exist. Well, let me show you my attack. Tsubaki, cover me." She replied, "Hi." She got into a defensive position. Naruto did the hand signs bird, tiger, ox and dragon. He said, "Fuuten. Kasekarite, windcutter." Tsubaki went behind Naruto as the wind started to pick up. The wind had a cool breeze until white blades started to come. The blades started to hit the trees and the roots. The trees were being destroyed piece by piece and were being sent back towards the Shodai Hokage. The Hokage quickly as the pieces of the trees and fused them with his arms. He put them over his face and blocked the wind cuts. The wind cuts did him on the parts of his body. His blood spattered on the floor. The funny thing is the blood started to burn like acid. Naruto's eyes went wide in surprise. The Shodai Hokage was a little surprised at the attack. "You surprised me, Genin, although I don't truly believe you are one, are you? May I know your name, as I feel it is wrong that I am fighting a great fighter as yourself and not know his or her name?" Quote, Naruto complied as he said, Hashirama-sama. My name is Naruto Uzumaki and that is Tsubaki-chan. She blushed at the familiarity. These will be your last opponents. Come on Tsubaki-chan, transform into shuriken mode. She promptly changed into a Fuma shuriken. Naruto threw her. As she was going towards the Shodai Hokage, he notices her shadow was becoming distant. When she a foot away she went back to her human form. She jumped over the shadowed Fuma shuriken. As it came and was about to hit him, Hashirama dodged it only to get kicked in the face by Tsubaki. He was not able to block it as the momentum from dodging the surprising shuriken that he left himself vulnerable. Tsubaki took advantage and kicked him in the head. She then landed on her hands, did a spinning to his side. He hit a tree that he quickly created to stop his momentum. Naruto yelled, "Oh no you don't," he went through 5 hand signs ending with monkey. He screamed out, Raiden, Ko Sanjugo Rakurai, lightning style. Rise from the ground 35 lightning bolts. As soon as he said that there was a loud crackling sound coming the ground. Next thing Hashirama knew lightning bolts were rising from the ground. They started to hit the Shodai Hokage with each one being stronger than the one before. He screamed out in pain. Naruto huffed and panted as he thought it was over. That lasted for a second when he heard Hashirama say, "Well Naruto-kun, I must say I am impressed. I guess my brother was right that the genin are going to become stronger if we start the academy. By the way, where in the world did you learn such a technique? It is quite easily in a ranked jutsu." Naruto's eyes went wide. He should have been dead a long time ago. The Raiden attack should have fried him to a burned crisp. If it wasn't for the fact that this guy is trying to kill him and his precious people, he would consider this fun. He said, "You know Hiroshima-sama, it is weird as we fight like bitter enemies but talk like old-time buddies. But you were wrong about the academy." Hiroshima raised an eyebrow at that. He is curious at why he would be wrong about the academy. This boy proves the success of the academy. Hiroshima asked, "Why do you say that, Naruto-kun?" Naruto bit back a mirthless chuckle. He said, "The academy has weakened over the years because of the faux peace. The clans are fighting each other again. The problem is there is internal struggle with them. The non-clansmen have been shut down. The teachers are more worried about how can they praise the so-called prodigy and sweeping the dead last under the rug. It is kind of sad since our motto of whatever hurts my brother hurts me has become just an ideal and died without fruition in the later generation. I guess the suffering or lack thereof has weakened Konoha. We have not lost someone close to us to make us want to protect what is precious to us. The will of fire is dimming and dying out pretty fast. The reason I am as good as I am is because I have the Forbidden Scroll. I learned the techniques in it as I have very high chakra. I know that if it was not for the fact that I work hard I would not succeed." Hiroshima put his head down in shame. If this boy is telling the truth, then how far has the academy and Konoha, his home, fallen? He let a tear go down his face. He sighed as he said, "Naruto-kun, if you lie from this battle and stop this invasion, I want you to become Hokage. It is time to get a strong leader from this generation to change Konoha." The Shodai went through the hand-signed tiger and said, "Kokwangyo no Jutsu, bringer of darkness technique." Everything went black for Naruto. He could not see anything. Everything was jet black. He kept himself from panicking or hyperventilating. He then felt punches hit his body. Each one grew stronger over time. He then felt a tree grab him. It grabbed his arms and his legs. It left him vulnerable. He started to sweat and was getting worried. He then heard Hashirama's voice in front of him. He said, "You fought well Naruto-kun. It is too bad this is the end. Is there anything that you would like to say?" Naruto lifted his head. His eyes were burning a bluish fire. He then had a smirk on his face. This confused the former Hokage. He said, "Yay, I have a few words. I've won." Before Hashirama said anything his eye went inward to see a blade in between them. Before his body could deteriorate he had a small smile on his face as he said, "Congrats Hokage-sama." The world became clear. Naruto was panting as he saw his shadow clone that he transformed into a Fuma shuriken holding Tsubaki in her Tanto form. Hashirama's soul was floating on air. It turned to Naruto and said, "Naruto-kun, because you have bested me in battle, when you eat my soul I will give you my Mokuton abilities. Use them well Naruto-kun." The soul came towards Naruto. Naruto sighed as he felt this is wrong, but he knew if he didn't then Orochimaru could summon him again. So he opened his mouth wide and ate it. He promptly passed out and disappeared with Tsubaki back to the original Naruto. With Patty and Liz. While Tsubaki and Naruto were facing the Shodai Hokage, the other Soul Naruto clone with Liz and Patty were facing the Nidaime Hokage, Tobirama Senju. Naruto pulled out his sword. He and the Thompson sisters got into a patient defensive mode. Naruto knows that the Nidaime is no pushover. This guy was just a little bit under his big brother. He is the guy that can control water better than Hanzo the Salamander. Naruto calmed himself down as he waited for the Nidaime to strike. The Nidaime said, "Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is showtime. Watch out because this match is going to end quickly." He clapped his hands and said, "Sweden, Mizoyari, water style, water spears." As soon as he says this, the water vapor from the air became foot-long spears ready to attack. He said, "I can control water to the point I don't need hand signs. You better hope these spears don't hit you or else it will dehydrate the water from the place it hit to dust. Have fun." He threw the water spears at Naruto and Co. Naruto thought quickly at what he could do to stop the attack. He remembered Neji's attack, Hakusho Kaden. His eyes went wide as a thought occurred to him. He said, "Liz and Patty go into gun mode and go into my pockets quickly." I got an idea. They did what he asked and transformed into their gun forms. He put them in his pocket. He did the hand sign dragon and said, "Fuuten. Busekieado Mu, wind style, spinning air dome." The wind started to spin around Naruto. It stated to gain speed as Naruto put more concentration on the dragon sign. The spears came at the now white dome. All the spears clashed at Naruto's dome. A huge gray smoke appeared. The smoke finally cleared to show that Naruto's white wind dome is still standing. Naruto released the jutsu. He said, "Is that all you got, Nidaime-sama?" Tobirama laughed at him. Naruto's right eye started to twitch. He does not like being laughed at. He asked, "Nidaime-sama, what is so funny?" Tobirama replied with a smirk, "It is simple, young one. You are the first person in a very long time that looks like they could give me a challenge. Let's see if I'm right about that, shall we?" Tobirama's body became that of water. It went towards Naruto. Naruto pulled out Liz and shot at him. The shot hit right in back the eye. The thing is that although it exploded, it regenerated as if it never happened. He came towards Naruto with a swing. Naruto ducked under and dodged him. Tobirama quickly turned back into his human form. Naruto was extremely confused by this. He asked, "What the hell was that?" Tobirama smirked. He liked to surprise his opponent, especially this kid. He looks like a good fight. He got into the come hither stance. He said, "Why don't you come here and see?" Naruto was thinking about what could he do. He noticed that he did not have the Raiden. That means he could use his Raiden attacks. He started to gain the electricity into his right hand. He said, "Girls, get into your human form. I need you to cover me. Make sure he doesn't get close to me." The girls replied, "Hi." They got into a defensive position. Naruto pulled out a black rock. Naruto started put lightning chakra into the rock. As he concentrated on pouring the chakra into the black rock, crackling sounds start to become louder. The electricity started to go up Naruto's arms. The electricity started to become yellow, white, and blue. The energy finally covered Naruto's body. He screamed out with power. Raiden no Yoroi, lightning style. Armor, Kai. Raiden no Tsurugi, lightning style. Sword, Kai. Raiden no Tate, lightning style. Shield, Kai. A big explosion occurred. As the smoke cleared, Naruto became an electric power machine. He has a sword made of pure electricity. His shield is the same. His eyes, instead of being the light blue, they were blue and white with a yellow lightning bolt going down. He spoke in a cackling voice, "Tobirama-sama, meet my new electric form." The Nidaime's eyes went wide. The twin girls felt the electricity flow through them. The Nidaime said, "It looks like someone has been in the Forbidden Scroll. You know that technique worked with me only because I had the Raiden to amplify my electricity power with my water affinity. Well, let's see your form clash with mine." He transformed into his water form. The two clashed. As Naruto punched, Tobirama blocked and came with one of his own. Their punches collided. The power pushed them to the other side. Naruto actually hit the purple flaming wall. The Nidaime also hit the wall. When Naruto hit the wall, he started to get burned pretty bad. Thanks to the lightning armor he is much better off than most. The Naidame on the other hand did not have any part of his body. Naruto's eyes went wide. He could not believe he did not get a single scratch on his body. He noticed that there is energy in the firewall. If he could recalibrate the energy particles he could use it against Tobirama. He lifted his hand. He concentrated his chakra into the fire. His hands started to gain the fire. The fire started to flow into the electricity. The electricity started to smoke. He sent all of the chakra he had towards the Naidame. The electricity and fire combination hit the Naidame head-on. Naruto barely got up. He started to pant and sweat. He is extremely tired and exhausted. He is running low on chakra as the fire burned a hell of a lot of chakra. He said, well, at least this is over. I, Naruto Uzumaki, am the only man that can say he beat the Shodai and Naidame Hokages as a genin. He felt a certain dread. He then felt it is getting harder and harder to breathe. He felt his chakra being drained from his body. He looked up to see he was in a ball. His eyes went wide as he knew what was going on. The thing that got him is how in the world did the Naidame survive that attack? He heard the Naidame laugh. The Naidame said, I guess Naruto Uzumaki can't say he defeated the Senju brothers. This was a really glorious battle. Unfortunately, like all things must come to the end. So Naruto Uzumaki, is there anything you want to say? Naruto was slowly draining, noticed he did not have his guns. He has a smirk on his face now. He said, Naidame, you are right, this fight was good. It gave me some pointers on how to fight people superior than I. You were also correct that this match is over. Unfortunately for you, you do not know my nickname is Unpredictable. So my final forward for you is Bang. The Naidame felt a bullet go through him. Before he died he said, Naruto used my ultimate water ability to protect Konoha like I had. He turned to dust as his soul skipped into his mouth. Behind the now dusted body of the Naidame shows Liz holding Patty in gun mode. Liz asked, Naruto, are you okay? Naruto nodded and passed out on the floor. He disappeared back to the original. With the original shocked Orochimaru. The boy just defeated not one but two cages. Not only that, but he had just defeated the two Senju brothers. He is trying to figure a way to get out without too much damage. He started to swing and hit Naruto. Unfortunately, he got kicked in the face by Soul. It was getting harder and harder to fight as he used his chakra to summon 3 cages, and come to find out one is the actual Shinigami. He knew had to leave quickly. He went through the hand signs snake and tiger. He said, Naruto-kun, I am going to have to end this quickly. Seneashu, snake hands. A few hands came towards Naruto. Soul went into scythe mode. Naruto lifted him up and cut the snake's heads. Naruto started to spin Soul and tried to slice Orochimaru. Orochimaru got out of the way. Orochimaru said, Naruto-kun, you are getting on my last damn nerves. Meet my holy sword, Kusanagi. He put chakra on his tongue, releasing it. He sent it toward Naruto. Naruto froze only to see Soul block it. Soul said, Naruto, here is your chance to hit him. Use your other scythe and hit him quick. Naruto put chakra on his short, pulling out his scythe. He started to spin his black energized scythe. He said to Orochimaru, Rochi-chan, I might not be able to kill you as my powers are drained. Unfortunately for you, I have something to compensate for my loss and Konoha has lost. There is not much you can do without your arms. He spent the blade and said, Hikage Kurite, Soul Cutter. He cut Orochimaru's arms off. He not only cut off his arms physically, molecularly, but from the soul. Orochimaru screamed in agony. Soul let go of the Kusanagi. He ran up the sword as if it was a ramp and did a chakra kick. The kick sent Orochimaru out of Konoha. He was able to escape barely. Naruto dropped on the ground, passed out. There is something more going on with Naruto than meets the eye. Minato looked at Sarutobi. Minato said, Hiruzen, we are going to have a long talk. Zero. At the arena, when Naruto was fighting, 2 people watched with their Sharingan flaring. The first is the usually aloof Kakashi Hatake. He is a tall, fit ninja, is characterized by his tall and spiky white hair, forehead protector regularly covering his scarred left eye, and his chronically visible mask. He is almost always seen in his Konoha ninja uniform, along with iron guard gloves reminiscent of his Anbu days. Another noticeable feature to Kakashi, other than his unique left eye, is the thin scar running over it and down to his cheek. The other was Sasuke Uchiha. Sasuke has black hair with a blue tint, and Anxi are right now Sharingan eyes. He has lighter skin than his older brother, Itachi. That is one of the only ways you could tell the difference. Like many other members of his former clan, his hair hangs over both sides of his face to roughly frame his cheeks. He is wearing a black, one-pieced version of his usual outfits with many small arm belts adorning his left arm. They were late for the Uchiha's match. When they came they see people from Oto and Suna facing Konoha. Then they see on the Hokage Tower, Naruto and Minato were fighting against Orochimaru and the Shodai and Nidaime Hokages. When Naruto won, they both said, "What the fuck?" Kakashi looked at Minato and his heart stopped. Minato is the father of Naruto Uzumaki. Sasuke's anger boiled as he saw how far Naruto has become. A voice in the back of his head said, "Excellent." Naruto has found himself lying in what feels like a dark puddle. His eyes are closed. He opened them to see where he is. His eyes to see where he was, but it was to no avail. He still cannot see anything. He did not know what left, right, up or down is. He was getting afraid. He saw a white light. He believed it is an exit. He crawled to it begging to be released from this dark hell. He ran towards the light. He finally reached the light. He opened his eyes to see he is in a white room. He always hated the color white. He groaned as he knew exactly where he is. He is in the fucking hospital. He felt two weights on his body. He looked down and was very surprised at what he saw. He heard two teary women crying on his chest. He looked up to see Minato looking at him with a deathly disappointed look. He shook his head. He said, "Ladies, the fucking baka is up." He saw the deathly glare of the two women. The women were Hinata Hyuga and Ino Yamanaka. Naruto saw their eyes of hate, anger, sadness, and despair. Ino was the first to speak. "Naruto baka, what the hell is wrong with you? What did you do to yourself? I told you to keep yourself safe, but no, you are the baka that want to go and fight 3 Kages. Not even an old Kage but 3 primed age Kages. What's worse is that they were our former Kages, Naruto. Why the fuck would you do something so stupid?" She slapped him in the face. She slapped him so hard his face is as red her tear-stricken face. Naruto was shocked. As the wheels in Naruto's head started to turn and register what just occurred, he felt an emotion that he has not felt in a long time, guilt. He felt the disappointment in their eyes. He felt their sadness overcome him. He hurt them more than any physical pain. He hurt them emotionally. He mumbled, "I'm sorry." Hinata looked at him with an angry glare. She was about to say something before Minato cut in. He said, "Naruto, you're seriously a fucking idiot for using that technique. Do you know the repercussions of such an attack?" Naruto got up and saw a big slash going down his chest. It had 24 stitches going down. Before he could muse about he got that, Ino asked the Shinigami, "Shinigami-sama, what attack did Naruto baka use? How come he is not healing like he normally does?" Minato sighed. He comes back less than an hour and his son already made problems for him. It has already been 3 days since the fight and yet it seemed like a minute. He looked into his servant's eyes. He saw the sadness in them. He said, "Naruto over there used a kinjutsu. It is one of the strongest jutsus to ever exist. Like all kinjutsus it comes with a price. Now the usual price for a kinjutsu is a chunk of chakra. The chakra levels are past a Kage level chakra. This is different, much different. The technique is called the soul clone. The prerequisite to use this technique is Kage level chakra. What the attack does, it makes an X amount of clones the user wants. The clones have the exact amount as the original. It also unlocks all limiters of the person such as elements. The person is able to learn and use techniques that could not have been used in rapid succession. Now this is where it gets tricky. Now if you opponents damage a clone, nothing really happens to him, yet. After the clone passes out, he returns to the original. When the original collects all the clones that only last 15 minutes, something happens. Minato sighed heavily. The next part is why soul clones are tucked away for life. It is an extremely powerful attack but comes with a very terrible price. He says, what happens is the person's soul is ripped. It rips into the exact amount of clones the person made. To rip a person's soul means they will die immediately. Naruto for all intents and purpose should be dead. That is why he isn't healing as quickly as he should have. Ino, Hinata, and Naruto went wide-eyed. Hinata and Ino's hands were over their mouths. Their tears were free-flowing down their face. Naruto was absolutely shocked. When he saw the clone jutsu, there was nothing there about the drawback. He realized that whoever used it never were able to write it down. He is now curious on how is he still alive. To-san, why am I still alive? Hinata looked at Naruto with deep sadness. She was so angry that she used Jiyuken on Naruto's arms and legs. She said, Naruto-kun, you are not moving from this hospital. I can't watch and see you slowly kill yourself by using such a fucking stupid jutsu. Naruto felt his arms and legs get heavy. Ino's eyes went wide. She thought to herself, damn, Naruto, you really pissed off Hinata. She just went up on my respect list. Minato is simply apathetic about this ordeal. He said, Naruto, the reason you are alive is because you have the blood of the Shinigami. Now there is something else to it. See, you were in your Shinigami form. As a result, your demon side became recessive. Now your almost immortality has put you and I into some big shit. Now Hinata, although it is extremely kind and sweet of you to make Naruto stay in the hospital, he has summons to deal with. Hinata blushed at Minato's comment but was extremely curious about the summons. Ino was the one who spoke out the thought. Shinigami-sama, what summons does Naruto have to go to? Minato said casually, oh, he has to deal with gods and the council, not this council, the God Council. Minato, who really didn't want to talk anymore, got up. He walked over to Naruto and flicked his head. When he did that, Naruto's soul came out with the slash across his abdomen still there. Minato said to the girls, ladies, he is coming with me, just leave his body alone. There is nothing in his body. His vital signs are fine. So don't jump his bones while he is gone. Minato pulled out an apple. He started to eat it. After he ate it, including the core, he gave the girls an evil and eerie smile. He disappeared in a dark smoke. He has officially freaked out Hinata. Ino was a little better as she was given missions and things by this man. She said to Hinata, Minato-sama, short as loves his apples. With father and son, Minato was holding Naruto by the scruff of his soul neck. Naruto tried move but it is of no use. Minato said, okay Naruto, this is the first time since the massacre that a demigod has come to the council. Now don't worry too much, although you should watch out for Kami. Well, it is time for you to see the council. Minato disappeared. Naruto looked up to see a desk that was in a semicircle. The first person is a fox-human hybrid. He is not a Hanyu. He has tan skin with dirty blonde fur. He has red and yellow slits for eyes. He wears only a jacket that says Fox Leader. He has a smirking like grin. He is Inari, the legendary summon of the legendary Fox clan. The second person he saw is a woman. She is a dark-skinned woman with golden-colored eyes and long purple hair, which she keeps up in a ponytail. Her standard attire consists of a backless, black sleeveless undershirt, an orange overshirt with 2 white straps on each shoulder, a large beige sash around her waist, black stretch pants and long beige wrist warmers, secured by bands, and long beige leg warmers with brown light shoes. She has on her back is the sun. She is Amaterasu. The third person he saw is a man. He is a tall, light-skinned man with messy, light blonde-colored, almost pale, hair and gray eyes that are usually shadowed by his hat. He always wears the traditional Japanese wooden sandals and a bucket hat. He also wears a dark green shirt and pants, and a black coat with a white diamond pattern along its bottom half. On the back of his shirt it said, Creator of Mountains. This person is Izunagi. The next one he saw is a woman again. She is a young-looking girl who wears a white t-shirt with the Creator of Lands logo in pink print and a knee-length, pink skirt with white dots. She has purple eyes and long, black hair with a purple tint. It is parted down the middle, with 2 strands of her bangs in the middle of her face, opposing each other, and the rest in pigtails with pink ties. She is Izunami. The next is a woman. The woman has crimson red hair. She has the eyes of the Rinnegan except it is red. She is sculpted like a model. She is wearing a red robe. It is crimson red with white stripes. She has an hourglass curve. She is one of the strongest gods to exist. She is Yami. Then comes the main god. He has porcelain skin. He has the Rinnegan but it is blue eyes. He has blue hair with a white streak going down the middle and the sidelines. He has a muscular build but not overly muscular. He has a blue robe with a white line going down. He has a kanji that said, Kami. It is Kami. Yami is the first person to speak. She said, Naruto-san, you are here because you broke a rule. Naruto quirked his eyebrow. He looked to see their facial expressions. They have a look of anger, sadness, and a hint of guilt. He was surprised by the last one. He asked, Yami-sama, I believe that's who you are. May I know what rule did I break? I simply do not know what I did that would bring the deity council together. Kami took this as an offense, but Yami waved her hand to her big brother. To be the bringer of life, he sure has a sure temper. She said, Naruto-kun, what you did is abuse your powers and abilities. You see, when you used the Hikage Bushin you broke the rule. The Hikage Bushin is a suicidal move. When you use the Hikage Bushin, you break your soul, or for that matter you ripped it. That is the general population. You not by choice but by fate, Naruto sighed. Naruto would never hear the end of it if Neji heard that. You have a destiny that must be completed. So we made an exception with you being a demigod. The demigods were wiped out with the Order 667. The Order killed all the people were like you because of their abuse of powers. So we have a very low tolerance for abuse of the powers that were distributed by us gods. Naruto started to understand a little bit better. He asked, excuse me, Izanami-sama. Are you by chance the one who created the Mokuton bloodline? She smiled a grateful smile. Kami on the other hand is pissed off. She in a low soft voice, somewhat Naruto-kun. Kami, Izanagi and myself worked on it. Kami said, boy, you better start respecting me or I will make you pay. Naruto turned his head to the side. He has a look of confusion. He asked, Kami-sama, how am I disrespecting you? Kami growled as he said, when you speak to me or any of the council you will say honorable council. Do you get me, weakling? Minato, who is standing on the wall eating a delicious red apple, looked up at Kami. Minato said, Yo Otuto, younger brother, chill the fuck out. You are taking this too seriously. I mean, sure, it is respectful for demigods to call us the honorable council, but then again, what happened to the other demigods? How can you get angry at a person or demigod, or should I say the chosen one, for being ignorant of what to say or not to say? I mean, seriously, chill out. Kami is now pissed off. How can he force his life-giving power to a weakling, when his Nissan is always breaking the tension? He smirked at a thought that occurred to him. He said, you know, Naruto, you have pissed me off. Your clear disrespect has shown me and the honorable council has become intolerable. Now I will show you some discipline. With Sasuke. Sasuke is at his Uchiha mansion. He is currently at the training ground. He is working punching and kicking the logs. He was doing fire jutsu. He is using Kaden jutsus. He is driving himself. His curse mark started to pulse. As it throbbed, the more evil thoughts started to cloud his mind. Instead of trying to kill his big brother Itachi, he is thinking of killing someone else. He thought about killing a certain teammate of his, Naruto Uzumaki. Yes, Naruto Uzumaki has been the person that has been on his mind. The Dobi has become the greatest thorn in his side. Itachi might have killed his clan, but Naruto did something more. As he thought about it, the black fires were covering his body. As he was about to strike again, he heard something. His ears started to twitch. Sasuke-kun? He flinched at the voice. He gritted his teeth as he turned his head. Sakura, why are you here? For that matter, how the fuck did you get in my motherfucking house? You better answer correctly or else. Sakura started to squirm. She said, Sasuke-kun, the door was open and I heard you grunted, scream and moan. So I ran towards the noise. I'm sorry, Sasuke-kun. Sasuke seemingly believed her. He just did his normal, HN, as a response. She saw his black fire marks started to recede, albeit very slowly. She put her hand over her mouth as she saw the curse mark throbbing. She said in a worried tone, Sasuke-kun, are you okay? You don't look so well. Do you want to? He said, you don't get it, Sakura. Do you know what happened at the invasion? The Dobi was able to show he is much better than me. He is not the Dobi we thought he was. She was surprised by Sasuke's outburst. She laughed a nervous laugh. She said, Sasuke-kun, what are you talking about? You are much better than the Dobi. Everyone knows that. What made you think that? Sasuke's hands became fists. His nails were digging into his palms. His palms started to bleed as his hands shook back and forth. He growled out, he was able to do something that no Uchiha has ever been able to do. He was able to beat and kill Hashirama Senju and Tobirama Senju. He was able to do it. He was able to beat the Shodai and Nidame Hokage. He was able to do it without any help from the Sandame or anyone else for that matter. Do you realize what that means? Sakura tried to build up Sasuke's self-esteem. He was holding onto her shoulders and shaking her. She said, "Sasuke-kun, I know if you were his position you would have done it. In fact, I bet you would have done so much better than Naruto Baka. You are the best Sasuke." She was cut off by Sasuke. He made a huge outburst. He said, "Shut up, just shut up. Fuck, all you ever do is fucking say, Sasuke-kun this, Sasuke-kun that. Why don't you do all a favor and commit suicide? You never train. You never work for anything. You have this warped thought that when you are in trouble I will always be there. Know it now, if you get in trouble you better hope and pray Naruto or Kakashi helps your bitch ass, because I won't. Get the fuck out of my sight, you waste of life. You waste of a being. You waste of a spermalized egg." Sakura was crying since the very beginning. Now she is feeling like she should commit suicide. But when she saw his face, the mirror broke. The mirror of the perfect man was destroyed. She saw what Naruto was talking about. How can she not see the evil in front of her? Maybe it is because she was so warped into the thought she would be able to let go of her insecurity. For some reason she saw Naruto's face as the perfect guy. She realized that she let go of a guy that was best for her. Now he is gone. She wiped her tears and got up. She said to Sasuke, "Thank you." Sasuke looked at her with bewilderment. He just told her to die and she says thank you. He thought to himself, what the fuck is wrong with her? He asked her, "Sakura, why are you thanking me? I just told you to die. So instead of killing yourself you say thank you. What is wrong with you?" She smiled a happy smile for the first time in so long. She said, "Thank you for waking me, Sasuke Teme. I hope you go to hell. So go to hell, go to hell and die, bitch." She just walked away leaving a stunned Sasuke. With Naruto. Naruto Uzumaki is not having fun. He was fighting Kami. The deity put up a barrier blocking anyone to come in to stop it. Naruto was holding on quite well. He only got a few hundred scratches. His arms were broken. His eyes were busted. He has broken his kneecaps. He has broken back. He could not move. Worst of all, Kami reopened his wound that is across his chest. His soul was being destroyed. Naruto was panting. His soul was getting ripped up. He is on the floor bleeding his soul essence. Kami stomped on his back. Kami started to squish Naruto's back like he was a bug. Kami said, Now Naruto, is there anything want to say?" What do you think now, you piece of shit?" Naruto was struggling. He then got up, albeit weakly. Kami was shocked as he saw Naruto get up. He, with the little bit of strength he has left, pushed Kami off of him. Kami's eyes went wide. Kami's eyes then narrowed as he said, "Who do you think you are?" Naruto, albeit beaten up, smirked and said, "I am Naruto Uzumaki. I am the one who never gives up. You might have beaten me physically and spiritually. You on the other hand have lost." Quote. Kami quirked his eye at his nephew. He replied smugly, "Oh Naruto, pray tell how you, a weakling, beat me, the almighty Kami." Naruto smirked at him. He said, "I beat you mentally. Look at yourself. You put up a barrier to personally beat me up. You let your anger get a hold on you. Now in front of everyone, you look like a man with a lot of power. You are a god. You are just a spoiled brat with a lot of power." Quote. Kami's eyes widened at Naruto's proclamation. He looked around to see all the gods' faces. He was surprised to see Naruto was right. He went to reply to Naruto's proclamation. He looked at Naruto as he fell. Naruto fell onto the floor and passed out on the floor. Naruto once again is having that dream again. Naruto has found himself lying in what feels like a dark puddle. His eyes are closed. He opened them to see where he is. His eyes to see where he was, but it was to no avail. He still cannot see anything. He did not know what left, right, up or down is. He was getting afraid. He saw a white light. He believed it is an exit. He crawled to it, begging to be released from this dark hell. He ran towards the light. This time though, it was something different. When he opened his eyes he saw something that made Naruto very curious. He saw two eyes looking right at him. The fox has dark, piercing red and yellow eyes. The fox has orange and yellow fur. The fox had menacing eyes with an infamous vulpine smile. The fox said to Naruto, Well, if it isn't Kushina's little kit. Did you come to visit your prisoner? Naruto looked at the fox with a look of confusion. His head went to the side as if looking at a puzzle. The fox has a tick on its head. The fox said, "What are looking at, Ninjin?" Naruto laughed. It was not a joyous laugh or anything like that. It was a bitter chuckle. It was an ironic laughter. Naruto said, "They thought me a 5 feet something 13-year-old was you an easily 14 feet fox. Isn't it amazing, Q? You know now that I think about it, how does it make you feel? I mean seriously, a towering fox demon is being called a puny person. It must have hurt your pride. It must have castrated your balls. It must." The Kyuubi transformed into her human form. She had a fiery red hair that had yellow that went down her back to her butt. She had the most amazing hourglass shape he has ever seen. She is smooth, flawless, tanned skin. Her legs were silky smooth but clearly showed that were extremely toned. She had about a C-cup borderline D-cup. She had tight-fitting mesh shirt that showed her toned stomach. She had on some wrappings around her legs. Her face was that of a goddess. It was heart-shaped with beautiful red eyes that had a ring on it. She had 2 earrings in each ear. Her neck had a flame, like the Fire Nation's fire symbol in Avatar. She had a blade that was sheathed in her back. She had 9 fluffy red and yellow tails. She was a goddess among women. She is wearing a fox-like fur robe. On her back she has a kanji. The kanji said, "The 9th demon." She said, "I am a girl, dumbass." Naruto's eyes went wide. With the Sandame was sitting at his desk. His look was that of guilt. He looked at the picture that reminded him of why he did what he did. It was a picture of his late wife and himself at their wedding. In the picture he saw his senseis, the Shodai and the Naidame. He saw Tsukumo Hitaki. He looked at his beautiful wife in her white dress. A tear rolled down his old wrinkled face. He whispered to himself, "Where did it go all wrong, Bawako-chan?" As the wind blows, a whisper answered his rhetorical question. The voice said, "I know where it went wrong." The Sandame looked around to find the voice of who said that. He looked at the door. His eyes went wide. His heart stopped for a moment. He must be dreaming. He thought to himself, "Are my eyes deceiving me?" He looked at the door again, trying to make sure he is not seeing things. In front of him was none other than a 20-year-old Bawako Sarutobi. "Hiru-kun, it has been a long time, hasn't it? 13 years worth of hatred inside you has made you look so old." She swirled around the desk in her beautiful white dress. She rubs his cheek with the back over her soft, smooth hand. She looked into his eyes and saw the happiness. She also saw the slither of hope in his eyes that wanted to believe it was her. She smiled a genuine smile. She said to Hiruzen, "Hiruzen, you are losing yourself in the hate. You are destroying everything we worked for. Do you remember what we worked on, Hiru-kun? We were going to grow old together and watch the new generation grow up, including Minato and Kushina's child. Do you remember when Minato came to you with the news? I was the one who said that I will deliver baby Naru-chan. It wasn't his fault, Hiru. He was just a baby. He was a few minutes old when Madara took my life. Naru-chan actually had nothing to do with it, so you need to release the truth about what had occurred that night." Naruto deserves solace. With Naruto was shocked to find out Kyuubi no Kitsune is a girl. Matter of fact, she is extremely beautiful. The Kyuubi was looking deep into Naruto's eyes. She saw his eyes roaming her body like a piece of meat. She blushed in embarrassment as she spun and kicked him in the face. She pulled out her sword from her back. She started to twirl it as she came at Naruto with it. She said, "Kushina's son, you will feel my wrath." She was blocked by Naruto's sword that he pulled out of absolutely nowhere. Naruto stopped her barely though. He asked her, "Kyuubi-san, what is it that I did to you? For that matter, why do you keep calling me Kushina's son? I know she is my mother and all, but why are you acting like this?" She stopped for a moment. She sat down to ponder what she had just done. She just kicked the poor man in the face. Then she tried to kill him with a sword, all because it started as a rivalry between her and Kushina. She started to giggle. Then it became a full-blown laughter. Naruto's eyes started to twitch. He asked in a calm voice, "Kyuubi?" He was cut off by the Kyuubi. Kyuubi said, "Kitsune is my real name." "Okay, Kitsune. Wait a minute. You are Kitsune of the Fox Clan. The Kitsune, who is rumored to have killed more Kishin than most demons combined." The kitsune, who was rumored to be a contender to being the first demonic weapon without a meister to become a death weapon. The kitsune who used to be my mother's ultimate rival. You're that kitsune? Kitsune blushed at Naruto's resume of her. He was practically bragging about her. She nodded. She answered, yes, I am that kitsune. How do you know who I am? Naruto was actually quite happy to see Kitsune. He said, Mom told me so many stories of your fights together. She also tells me about how symmetrical you are when you fight. That is just trivial knowledge. Can you tell me about your life? Kitsune asked the demon hybrid. Now Kushina's kid, can I at least know what your name is? Naruto had enough decency to blush at his. He said, I am Naruto Uzumaki, Datebyo. Kitsune shook her head. This child is definitely Kushina's kid. Only the offspring of Kushina can and would say something that absurd. She giggled softly as the ears on the top of her head flattened considerably. His right eye started to twitch at her giggle. Before he could ask why she is laughing at him, he started to disappear. He started to fade away into nothingness. Outside of Naruto's dream, mindscape, Minato Namikaze was leaning on the wall sleeping. Yes, Minato the Shinigami was sleeping on a wall. His incredible god senses kicked in. His ears started to twitch as he heard a noise coming directly from his son. He opened his eyes to see his son awake from his slumber. Minato saw the clear confusion on his poor son's face. Minato said, so you finally wake up. Well son, they said I was unpredictable when I was at the Meister and Ninja Academy. You on the other hand have made look like a kid on Ritalin. For my sake, you go and fuck with my Omouto Kami. Now he is right about the clear disrespect, but that is because you did not know. Now as you can see, Kami does not like you. I have few suspicions as to why that is. I can't to tell you why because then I will get into more trouble than it is worth. Now I guess I have to tell you your punishment. Now what the Honorable Council decided is that you must learn from two teachers on the way to fight as a Grim Reaper and a demonic weapon. You must release your demonic weapon side. But the true punishment is what made me apathetic and somewhat hate the council. You remember the black notebook? Well, it will tell you who has to die that day. Before you got into trouble you had some leeway. You could change it by getting someone who is the opposite as the person. So if it is a good person that you truly believe does not deserve to die early, you must kill a person is as evil or greater than the particular purpose. Now if that is the case, you are a little different. You have to kill a person that is more evil than the particular person. Now there is someone I want you to meet. Before Naruto could say anything or for the matter process it, a person jumped out of the bushes. The man is a tall man with extremely long and spiky white hair tied back into a ponytail, with two shoulder-length bangs that framed both sides of his face. He also has red lines that ran down from his eyes and wore a horned forehead protector with the kanji for oil. The man is wearing a green short shirt kimono and matching colored pants, under which he wore mesh armor that showed out of the sleeves and legs of his outfit. His outfit was completed with handguards, a simple black belt, traditional Japanese wooden sandals, a red cloak with two simple yellow circles, and a toad summoning scroll on his back. He also has a picture of Gamabunta with his kodaichi in a samurai stance. He has a tattoo on his right chest pack. It is a picture of a red and brown toad. Minato said, Naruto-kun, this is. He was cut off by the two people. They said in unison, you. Minato's right eye twitched. He started to think himself, who else does Naruto know of pissed off for my sake? It is like he was dipped into the river of enigma. This is seriously getting old and fast. Why do I have a feeling that my next question is going to be more of a headache? Minato sighed. He asked, Jiraiya-sensei and Naruto-kun, how the fuck do you know each other? Jiraiya tried to explain but Naruto cut him off. Naruto asked, To-san, did you say this pervert is your sensei? Minato waved off the comment saying, I will answer that later. Now answer my question. Naruto said, well it started. Flashback. Naruto was much shorter now. Naruto walking around and his 7-year-old body's legs could take him. He went past the most luxurious spa in Hai no Kuni, also known as the Land of Fire. The spa is known for the water jets, mud baths, massages, and extremely beautiful women. As he was passing by he heard someone giggling out and scribbling something down. Naruto's ear twitched as he felt the very sudden urge to follow the giggling sound. His ear brought him north to a huge oak tree. His ears were like that of a radar. It was practically beeping in his mind. He looked up to see a man with white hair holding a notepad. The mysterious person was scribbling furiously as his nose was bleeding. He giggled as saw all those beautiful women. Naruto climbed up the huge oak tree. He went up to the mysterious person and poked him. Nothing happened. Naruto had a tick mark over his eye. He then poked him the head this time. Once again nothing happened. Naruto had a huge tick mark on his forehead. Naruto was getting very annoyed, very annoyed. A light bulb lit up in his head. He slowly started to form a smile that would make the Joker look like a depressed teenager. He took a very deep breath and yelled, "Pervert." Jiraiya paled as heard that death-bring word. He looked around to see who said it. He then saw a blonde child with 3 whiskers on each side of his face. He also had a "kill me orange" jumpsuit with an overdose of pockets. He saw his blonde hair and thought, so he is his son. He looks just like him. He broke out of his musings as he covered Naruto's mouth. Naruto was waving his hands up and down in very fast motion. Jiraiya heard the sound of women screaming, "Pervert? Where's the pervert?" Jiraiya was getting paler and paler until he saw them looking at him. He knew he had to be quick with this. So when they came close with blades and such, he did a shunshin, body flicker, and disappeared from sight with the blonde foxboy named Naruto. When they shunshined out of the area, Naruto was in a deep awe and wonder. He had seen many people do that, but to be inside was totally different. Inside the shunshin, the petals of the sakura trees swirled around Naruto, slightly touching his whiskers. Seeing the petals dance around him, took his breath away. As he felt at peace with the calming sensation, it quickly ended. He frowned as the feeling of peace and serenity has left him. This is just a common feeling for Naruto. Naruto had to sigh, the warmth was gone, only left with the feeling of coldness. He turned away from Jiraiya because he didn't want the man to see him cry. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. Jiraiya saw tear droplets for falling on the floor. He went over to the blonde-haired boy and put a hand on his shoulder. He looked at him and asked, "Oi Gaki, what's wrong?" Naruto looked at the droplet and put his mask back on. "Ero-san, I'm fine. I just had some pollen go into my eye, hee." Jiraiya knew something was up, but he didn't push further. Naruto realized that he didn't even know this guy's name. "Hey, who are you anyway?" Jiraiya just realized he never had told Naruto his name. Jiraiya said, "You don't know who I am? I am the knight in shining armor to all women. I am the woman's wet dream. I'm the writer of the great story Icha Icha. I am the great sage. I am the great Jiraiya the toad sage, the great Sanin." Jiraiya was doing a weird dance as he said this. Naruto's eye twitched. He thought to himself, let's give him his own medicine. Naruto started to do a weird dance as he said, "I'm the orange boy wonder. I am the blonde-haired blue-eyed legend. I'm the boy who will pass the 4th Hokage. I am Naruto Uzumaki, the next Hokage. Believe it." Flashback end. Minato sighed. He said to the two, "Well, you two, there is something you must do. You have a mission to bring back the Slug Princess. Naruto, Jiraiya is going to be your sensei, so be respectful. He might be a pervert, but it is a big plus to train under a guy who taught the top demon and the Shinigami. So if he could teach your parents, he is a great sensei. Godspeed, you two. I expect you back in 3 months. By then Konoha will have been cleaned out." They nodded and head out. Meanwhile, Kiba is currently at the border of Otogakure. He was able to escape with his arms intact. He was able to get away during the invasion. He knew as long as he is Konoha, he will be imprisoned for life. So he was smart enough to leave. It also helps him because now he is away from Naruto and he could train under a guy who resents Naruto more than he does. He looked around and recognized someone. The person is Kabuto. Kabuto has black eyes with gray hair kept in a ponytail and wears circular glasses. He wears a dark purple shirt with a white undershirt and a white obi around his waist worn at an angle. He had dark purple pants and a shuriken holster on his right leg. He is wearing an Otogakure forehead protector and dark purple gloves with open fingers. He, like Anko, has a dark snake mark on shoulder. Kabuto asked Kiba, "What are you doing here?" Kiba had a wicked evil smirk on his face. He laughed a dark evil laugh. He said, "Kabuto, I want to join Otogakure and Orochimaru to destroy Konoha and Naruto Uzumaki." Kabuto laughed as he said, "Excellent." Naruto and Jiraiya were walking down the dirt road. Naruto looked at Jiraiya. Naruto asked Jiraiya, Ero Sanin, how strong are you? You were able to train and teach the Shinigami and the 10-tailed demon. How the hell did you get that job anyway? Jiraiya laughed not at Naruto but the event that caused his team to be. He said to Naruto, that is a great tale. It started like this. Flashback. Jiraiya was walking around the Meister Academy. The Shinigami, Death the Kid called him to come there. He, for the life of him did not understand why Death the Kid needed him. As he went to an abandoned mirror he put chakra on his pointer finger. He breathed on the window creating a fog on the window. He wrote the letters 4242564 on the window. He muttered, Shini Shini Garashi, Death Death Murder, 4242564 whenever you need to knock on death's door. As soon as he said that the mirror showed the Shinigami. Kid is always dressed in a standard black business suit with white rectangles. The rectangles are placed in a manner that is completely symmetrical. The main rectangle goes straight down the chest of the jacket, while a set of squares wrap around each shoulder blade. His undershirt is a formal white dress shirt with the Shinigami symbol as his top button. Kid's most notable feature is the 3 white lines that cut across one half of his hair. Kid's eyes are yellow with rings around his eyeball. Kid said to Jiraiya, Jiraiya-san, I am getting too old for this job. Now as you know and I know my son will never accept this job. He believes that he is too spineless. Unfortunately I am getting someone to be the active Shinigami. I know you won't do it even though you are the best choice for the job. Well, you will be the one who chooses who is going to be my ultimate replacement. Also, what happened to your nose? It makes you so asymmetrical. He pulled out his 2 guns and said, if you don't make everything symmetrical, I will do it for you. Do you understand me? Jiraiya nodded nervously. Death said one more thing, Jiraiya, the 3 choices are in the academy. One of them is my grandson. The other is a girl from the slums and the third is also from the streets. The 3 will be the first Meister Demon team of 3 since Death the Kid. They have an abundant amount of potential, energy, and talent. Look after Minato, Kushina and Kitsune as you will be their team leader. Jiraiya nodded as he lost contact with Death. Flashback end. Naruto was shocked. He just learned Jiraiya taught the 3 most powerful Kishin killers by himself. Naruto started to think of the abilities he could learn from Jiraiya. Jiraiya called Naruto's name. Naruto, this trip is not only to get my teammate. It is also for you to release your demonic weapon mode. Meanwhile, Konoha's council is about to get fucked. The council was talking amongst themselves. They were trying to figure out some things such as where Kiba is. Should the Hyuga get compensation for Neji Hyuga's defeat and destroyed right eye? Things like that. The Sandaime walked into the room with new vigor. He came in with a look of fuck with and you die. He also had a look of happiness. It is a look of having a huge weight lifted right off of him. The Sandaime actually looked 20 years younger. The council felt somewhat happy by this. The last time he was this happy was when they beat Naruto almost to Minato. They wonder if the demon brat is finally dead. One of the more conceited evil, almost Kishin level evil, asked the Hokage, Hokage-sama, has the plan worked? Is the demon dead yet? Can we finally celebrate? Please tell us it is so. The Hokage put a smile on his face. This made the council believe that Naruto was eliminated. They, meaning the civilian council, was about to jump for joy until the Sandaime cut them off. He said, nope, Naruto-kun is alive and well. In fact right now he has a mission. He has a mission to bring back Tsunade Senju for she will take over for me. He also has a family now. He has a dad. I am going to be a part of his family or try to be. They were shocked at Sandaime's answer. They were extremely surprised at the Sandaime's extreme change of heart. The one who wanted to know the most is Kaharu. Kaharu wears a simple long kimono, held closed by an obi jacket and a sash over it. The pearls on her hair needle have also increased and tassels were added to the other end. Her earrings are also considerably longer. She recognized that face on Sarutobi. She thought to herself, impossible. She is dead, how could she? While she was in her thoughts, the new rich and extremely corrupted member of the civilian council asked Hiruzen, Sandaime-sama, what made you change your mind all of a sudden? It is highly unlike you to change your mind like that. The Sandaime smiled. He had a reason to change. Although he knows he will not be able to be forgiven for what he has done to the young Shinigami and demon hybrid. He was going to try and help the boy as much as possible. For that matter, why is it that he is still alive? That is a question for another time. All he knew was it is time to see the person who changed him. He said, "Councilmen and women, as you know, I had great hatred for the poor child because of the great death of my beautiful wife Bawako. Now I see Naruto was not the reason she died. She chose to be there to be his wet mother. So I did something wrong as to blame Naruto. Well, I see my mistake thanks to this person. But before the person comes in, there is a person here who tried to assassinate this person because they knew too much. Come in please." The door opened. Koharu yelled unintentionally, "What the fuck? That bitch is supposed to be 6 feet under by now." Bawako, Koharu's younger sister, said, "Imouto. It has been too long. It has been 13-something years since that poisoning." Koharu flinched at this. This council meeting is about to be really interesting. At Konoha bar, Kakashi is sitting there. He is trying to think away his thoughts. Right in front of him, well, not right now, but before, was Sensei's own flesh and blood. Yet he remembers the day he put a Chidori in his chest. The Sandame said he could let out his frustration as long as he did not hit him in any vital places. His anger and hatred of the great Kyuubi no Kitsune caused him so much grief that even the infamous Sharingan could not help him. In fact, it seemed that the Sharingan clouded his judgment of the situation. To know that this boy is the son is Sensei. He took another sip of his drink to shake the memories. He heard someone call his name, "So Kakashi, you have finally reached rock bottom." He looked around to see who said that. He looked to his right to see 4 people that he truly never wanted to see again. The first person is his father, Tsukumo Hitaki. Tsukumo, like his son, he has the same silver-colored spiky hair with the addition of a long ponytail similar to Jiraiya. Hey, it was the style back then. And a mess of hair on his head that hangs over his forehead protector. His facial features are more distinguished compared to Kakashi's visible ones. He is wearing a standard leaf ninja uniform and flak jacket with the addition of a distinctive short white left sleeve with red jagged edges. The second person is Rin Inuzuka. She has 2 purple rectangles painted on each side of her face. She wore a long-sleeved black top and a purple-pink skirt. She has brown eyes. She has short brown hair that stopped at her neck. Her bangs went down to her jaw. Her forehead protector is brown like her hair. Kakashi noticed she had a wedding band on her finger. The third person is the Obito Uchiha. Obito has a blue shirt and pants on. He has gold, orange and black goggles around his neck. He has 1 Sharingan eye and a regular black jet black eye. He has blue and black spiky hair. He has a round face. He saw a wedding ring on his finger. The fourth person is his sensei, Minato Namikaze. Minato was the voice he heard. Minato said, "Kakashi, I see you are trying to black out the memories. Just stop. Look at yourself, you are killing yourself. You made a mistake, now fix it. You tried to help Sasuke because you want to remember and do a favor in Obito's name. Now there is only one thing you could do. Keep going straight. Stop being late for team meetings. Train everyone on your squad. There is something I need you to do for me." Kakashi is so intoxicated and high from the mushrooms just nodded. He believed that this was just a dream or part of his hallucination. Minato said, "Kakashi, lift up your headband please." Kakashi did as he was told. Minato lifted his hand. He put black energy on his 2 fingers. He sighed as he said, "Sorry Kakashi, but this has to be done." He thrusted his 2 fingers into Kakashi's Sharingan eye. Back with Naruto. Naruto was sitting on the grassy plains of Sanagakure no Sato. This is the way towards their next destination. Jiraiya is standing right next to him. Jiraiya was watching him. Jiraiya said, "Naruto, you activated the initial phase of your demonic blood." The initial phase is easy to explain. It's like when you are 10 years old and you are given an extremely strong cup of coffee for the very first time. The kid is off the wall using all that energy. They are all hyper and using more energy than needed. Once the coffee is out of the kid's system, he passes out from exhaustion. Now after that phase that you activated, we must go into the phase in which you are able to control your activated Yukai. To do that you must release your own Yukai. Before in Wave you released Kitsune's, you must activate your own. Naruto looked at him with shock. His eyes were wide as dinner plates. He asked Jiraiya, "Ero Sanin, how did you know about Wave?" Not a lot people knew what happened in Wave. Ero Sanin cursed about that slip. He said, "Okay Naruto, you were near a group of toads. Their nests were being disturbed by the battle. They told me a demon activated a demon's ability. They said the person had blonde spiky hair. They described your description, so I knew it was you. Jiraiya lied to Naruto to keep a secret from him. Naruto seemed to agree to this. He said, "Okay Ero Sanin. Now how do you activate the Yukai? I mean when I was in Makai I learned a lot of things but never used the attacks as it has to be used with Yukai." Jiraiya agreed. Right, to use those attacks you have to use Yukai. The difference between chakra and Yukai is a stronger, thicker, denser than chakra. It is like this: it takes 2,000 pounds or 907 kilograms to equal 1 ton. It is the same, it takes a whole of chakra to convert it into Yukai. Now to activate it, I want you to channel your chakra around your body. Then you say, Kachiyose no Jutsu. Kumajutsu Yukai. This will activate your Yukai. Open it all up. Now the thing is, before you do it, I must warn you, your bloodlust will be of the charts, so you will be facing me. The demonic bloodlust is stronger than the one you had against Neji. Naruto gulped at this. He is not stupid at all, but to know that you will be taken over essentially by your emotions. That is something he absolutely never wants to do again. The last time it happened, Haku and Zabuza were killed. If he did not freeze up, at least Haku might have been saved. He did not want to think of the what ifs, so he got ready. He did the hand signs: boar, right pointing arrow, dog, right pointing arrow, bird, right pointing arrow, monkey, right pointing arrow, ram. He yelled, Kachiyose no Jutsu. Kumajutsu Yukai. Summoning Jutsu. Summoning demons Yukai. Instead of the chakra being its light blue color, it turned a deep blood red. Jiraiya has a monocle that is called a scouter. It is gray on the leg and has a green square for the lens. It can see power of a demon's Yukai. It has yellow numbers to show the level of the amount of Yukai in 10-mile radius. Naruto's Yukai started to explode. It started to go waves among waves of energy. The power was going off the charts. Naruto was going crazy. The same went with his transformation. Naruto's body started to take the shape of a fox. All the physical traits of his regular form are still present and slightly altered, including the black rings that surround the more berserk-looking eyes. He even has a chakra tail. Jiraiya nodded, as that was normal to get the first tail. Naruto then got his second tail. The second tail transformation, his physical characteristics matched the first two forms, but his red eyes and canines grew larger, and his lips acquired a black outline. The demon fox shroud's only difference between the one-tailed and the two-tailed form was the extra chakra tail that formed. Jiraiya nodded. It wasn't uncommon for a newbie to gain a second tail. Naruto gained a third tail. The three-tailed form looks similar to the two-tailed form, but with the 9 tails features becoming even more pronounced. In this form, the chakra it produced was caustic, such that the air around Naruto began to sting others. And with the demon fox shroud's increased protection and attack power. He roared as the power grew. It destroyed many trees around him. Jiraiya started to think that this is the extent of his powers, as it is improbable to go higher than that. The last demons to reach the third tail at the initial stage were his Kushina, his mother, and Kitsune, his jailer. That rule applied, until now. Naruto grew a fourth tail. The Yukai began to burn its way through Naruto's entire body, completely destroying his skin while rapidly healing it at the same time. Naruto's body was eventually covered in a mix between the Yukai and his own blood. Everything from his face to his chakra tails became completely solid, and his eyes lost its characteristics and became empty glowing circles, surrounded by a black mask of chakra. In this form, the Yukai of the animal clan Naruto's mother belongs to starts to take control. This made him a mere endoskeleton for the Star Foxes and surprisingly the Dragon Clan. The Yukai internal support became Naruto's physical mass, with every living thing in its way a target. The four-tailed form had all the benefits of the other tails, but with upgrades of the Dragon Clan. It grew a draconic tassel under his chin. Jiraiya was shocked out of his mind. No demon that immediately unlocked its initial stage has gone up to 4 tails. What got him more is the power was still growing. Naruto grew a 5th tail. The Yukai of the foxes and dragons were clashing against each other. The conflict was making it so on one side it was a red fox with 1 fox ear, red fur, 2 tail and a half tails. The other side was golden. Instead of a fox's claw he gained a dragon claw. The Yukai made Naruto's body scales on that side. It had 2.5 dragon tail. The 2 halves of the fox and dragon tail combined with each other. This scared Jiraiya more than anything. It seemed like he was going to have to go serious against him. The numbers were still rising as the fox-dragon hybrid came towards him. Jiraiya was extremely shocked by the number as he screamed. That's all for now. If you enjoy then please like, share and do comments.